of brevity, I'll call the roll. Just so everybody knows, I'm required to talk to the people on the phone first. Sherry Aker.
Present.
Deb Janik.
Present.
Brendan McNally.
Present.
Jennifer Rashley.
Present.
Tom Haley.
Present.
Ruth Hollenbeck.
Present.
Jennifer Johnson.
Present.
Mike Dakotas.
Present.
Joe Souza.
Present.
Tom Hamilton.
Present.
Jay Edwards is here. Okay, let me tell you how this has to work. I just found out an hour ago that we have to, since we're doing voting, what I'm going to do is announce the account number, what page it is on. I will initially make a motion, hey guys, I'll initially make a motion for what the town council approved. I will ask for a second. I'll get the second first from the people on the phone.
Yes.
Or one of us, whoever does the second. At that point, I'll ask for discussion. Hopefully there won't be a lot or any. And at that point, I will ask the people on the phone how they would vote. I'll start with Sherry, then we'll do Deb Janik, then we'll do Brendan McNally, then we'll do Jennifer Rashley. I will accept their votes and announce how they voted. We will then continue around the table, starting on the left, and work our way around. People will see me working on this sheet. This is just a vote tally, so I can give it to the lady who's going to be doing our minutes, and it's just mostly to help her, because sometimes this video can be really hard to decipher. Does everybody understand how that has to go and how it will go?
Yes.
Yes.
Excuse me, Jay, do you think, I don't know if you can talk into the microphone
I
or.
will. I'll get
phone
better.
speaker?
Sorry.
Yeah.
How's that?
I'm just having a hard time hearing you. That's better.
Okay. And we have this here. Okay, so without further ado, we'll go with debt service, account number 9660 on page 1. The town council approved $4,753,380. Everybody agree with that total?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have a second? Anybody on the phone first?
I will second.
Deb Janik seconded.
Excuse
Any
me.
discussion?
You made the motion?
I made the motion. Oh, and if the rest of you would care to take these kind of notes too, it'd probably be helpful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make each motion. I think it'll work easier that way, and then somebody else can second it. Any discussion?
Just the,
Nope.
Did Joe just make a,
I'm sorry?
so you are, I thought that Joe had, so you're gonna make I thought I heard Joe Souza say he was gonna make a motion.
Only-
Sorry, I made the motion, Deb Janik seconded it. Now I'm
Right,
asking
I
for
heard.
discussion.
I just was
Okay.
gonna request that you just explained very briefly what this line item is, so people understand these are bond payments.
Okay. Debt service is just it's, I guess the term to use is contractually obligated bond payments, interest payments
Yeah,
on bonds and the like.
And the trucks.
Yeah. The budget, neither the budget committee or the town council can really change this. It is what it is. Okay. From the phone, Sherry Aker, yay or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik, yay or nay?
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
Jen Joslin?
Yay. Oh, sorry.
I think,
Oh, I'm sorry, Tom.
can we just do the rest of us as a group, Jay, so you don't have to call everyone out?
Yes, we can.
That's live, that's live. Why don't we do that?
The rest of us, all those in favor?
It's unanimous.
Unanimous. For the public's information, we have a unanimous approval of all members of account number 9660 in the amount of $4,753,380. Next up, account number 0980. That's on page 2 and page 3. It consists of municipal capital restricted, capital improvements, and recurring major time finance payments. Those are things like trucks, equipment. I will make a motion to approve the town council's $1,338,146 recommendation. From the phone, do I have a second?
I'll second, Brendan.
Brendan McNally has seconded it. Do we have any discussion?
I think this may be one that we should wait until we can have some discussion and try to go with something, because I think a lot of this needs to be gone through again. We really didn't have a lot of discussion on this previously, and, I mean, a little bit off topic, I'm reading now that with the state being so far behind, with unemployment coming on strong, we're probably going to lose the reimbursement for the car tax and see less in school aid. So, I mean, that's coming next year, so it's just the bottom line is I think we should go through this again.
Can you kindly speak into the microphone? This is
I'm using the
Jennifer.
microphone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you hear better now? Say
I'm
something.
done speaking. So it's up, I mean, if you want to vote on it now, it's up. I personally would like to wait on this one maybe for more discussion.
Is there any specific item in it that you would like to change, or?
Well, see, my copy is not updated. I mean, purchase of trucks for the fire department, is that still in there? I never really got this is a problem, this is the problem I'm having, is I haven't got really any updates. Did the council cut some of this stuff out that I'm not knowing about?
No,
It's on
the difference, yes. The difference
Yeah.
between the March 3rd and the other one was they removed the Bobcat, pickup truck, police SUVs changed. They took 56,000 out of the public safety communication system because it's going to be grants.
You saying the fire department pickup truck is still in there?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
So
What's
I'm
the
saying,
date of the document you have?
it was the last one I got.
March 3rd?
Yeah, it's the correct one.
Yes.
So it's out.
The pickup truck is out, and the Bobcat is out of the copy that I have that's
Because-
dated March
Because
3rd.
they were going to use a trailer with the SUV instead. That was the rationale, correct? So they were going to use a trailer with the SUV instead of the,
That
I know
is,
there was a whole plan to replace a truck that they use out in the woods, which really didn't do much anyway.
It's been removed.
But
removed. So don't-
I'm just saying it,
So just so everybody knows.
You probably can't do it fast.
well,
Okay, look,
it's up to the body. I mean, I'm one vote. If everybody else in the body feels it's good to go, then just vote it, and I'll just, hold my objections.
so we have a motion and a second. We've had some discussion. I'm going to call a
Want
vote.
to redo it again?
Sherry Aker, how do you vote, yea or nay? Sherry,
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
The rest of us, all though in favor? Ruth? Opposed?
One.
Okay, so Joe's, give me a minute.
The lone
I gotta
wolf.
catch up on my X's and minuses. Okay, so that motion carries. We have approved account number 0980 in the amount of $1,338,146.
And Jay, the nays were Joe, were there any other nays?
Negative, just him.
Thank you.
Okay, it's very difficult to hear, when people are talking, at least for me. I know Jennifer said something, but it's hard to hear the argument. You know, I had a really difficult time even hearing what Joe was saying. So if people can make sure they're talking in the microphone as well, so we can hear what they're saying.
Okay.
Sorry, Sherry, there was no argument. I just said that we prefer to go to a vote.
I mean, I could shove it, right? Like this.
We're rearranging the microphone.
Okay, how's that? Can
Sherry.
you hear better?
I can hear you,
Well, I
Mike.
can hear
couldn't hear
you.
Joe.
I couldn't hear Joe either.
I'm just disappointed I can't see you, Mike.
Okay,
I'm sure.
next up, town clerk's account number 1010 on page 4. I'll make a motion that we approve the town council's recommendation of $307,732.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion? On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay?
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
in the room, all in favor? Opposed? No opposition, the motion carries. $307,732.
Congratulations, Nancy.
Yay. Okay. Next up, Town Council. Page 4, account number 1020. I'll make a motion that we approve the Town Council in the amount of 110700.
I'll second.
We have a second from Deb Janik. Any discussion?
Just one question. On
Yes.
the agenda, what number is that? Do we know? Just so that I can write the votes next
Write
to
it in
it.
because I missed it.
Oh, it's not on
It
here?
was, no, it's a typo.
Can we vote on it if it's not here?
We can.
Okay, so we're just adding it in at the end?
You know, at this point, I'm not gonna worry about it.
All right, hold on now, because I just gotta write it down so that,
Just write it down.
The account number is 12.
I'm a little shell-shocked right now, and I just want to thank you all really a lot for bearing with me and forbearance here.
You're fine.
I
Joe, you've
appreciate
done it, or Joe, Jay, you've done a great job. Don't even, yeah.
You got that? 1020 is the number.
Okay, so
10:20,
we
yeah.
have a motion and a second for $110,700. Sherry Aker,
Yay?
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
For those of us in the room, all in favor? Everybody's in favor. Motion carries in the amount of $110,700 for the town council. Next up, town hall operating expense, whoop, what am
Board
I?
of Canvassers, 10:30.
I don't have that one. Oh, I
It's on
do.
there for.
Board of Canvassers, pardon me, page 4, account number 1030. Making a motion to approve the town council's number of $60,100.
Board of Canvassers, Jay.
Yes. Board of
I think he
Canvassers,
meant council approved.
page 4, account number 1030. Discussion?
Yeah, I'm not sure why, I don't remember, why there was such a big increase in the restricted account. I know that it's only going up, like, last year it was 45 and this is 50. I was gonna make a motion that we keep that, a second motion that we keep that at 53-1.
It's a
It's a
presidential
prudential,
election.
yeah, it's the
was
presidential
last
election
year.
this year, Sherry. That was due to why there was an increase.
Wait, Sherry, wait, it was not 45 last year, it
And-
was 15 last year.
Oh, the election year coming up?
It
Is that
is.
what you just said?
So presidential
Okay,
and
all right,
primary
never
is
mind.
is
Okay.
driving the increase.
Even for the midterm, Sherry, it was 45,000, so in 18, 19, then 15,000 last year, and now they're putting 50,000, which,
Yeah, so the big thing that went up was $10,000 for the restricted part, and as Nancy Mello did explain to us, that's because of it's an election year
And a primary.
and a primary.
Right, okay,
All set?
we can vote then, 51.
See, it is
50,100.
restricted too, so if it's not spent, it just basically goes to the next
We'll
year's.
need it for another year. All right, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay,
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
yay,
In the room, all those in favor? Opposed? Nobody's opposed. The yeas have it, and the Board of Canvassers in the amount of $60,100. Give me a minute to do my check marks. Okay. Next up, Town Hall operating expenses, page 4, account number 1040. That went up hardly any at all. I'll make a motion to accept the amount of $26,700. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Deb Janik seconded.
Yep.
Any discussion?
Just that we really received no information where $9,000 would go to building maintenance, so it went up.
It went up.
It's the same as the year before.
I'm just saying, how much of that has been spent out of last year's budget? I mean, there's still a lot sitting there.
Well, I can tell you where a lot of it's gonna go. That stuff.
Well, it was actually for building maintenance. In other words, doing repairs to the building, but we received no backup or anything as far as what needed to even be done on this building, or what would be done, or even who would do it, so.
I understand that.
Just a point, because at some point, we may have to go back and look at accounts to try to bring the tax rate down, so this may be one we want to look at, so I'm marking them as we go.
Okay. And at this late juncture, we're not gonna get that information.
No, probably never would.
Okay, so I made a motion, we had a second, we have discussion. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
yay,
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
yay,
In the room, all those in favor? Opposed?
I'm opposed.
For the audience, Joe Souza was lone opposition. Where are we at? Next up, legal services, page 4, account number 1060. 50? I'm sorry, 50.
yeah,
I make a motion that we accept the town council's recommendation of $257,500. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Deb Janik seconds. Discussion? You notice town council took a lot out of the labor council because the contract negotiations are basically done and they didn't expect to need any more of that. No discussion? On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous? Labor Council in the amount of 257,500. Next up, Planning Board, page 5, account number 1070. Make a motion to accept the amount of $13,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Deb Janet. Is anybody keeping track of?
Not the seconds, I'm not. The votes I am.
I'm keeping track who proposes in seconds.
Yeah, I sent a couple of people these things too.
Awesome.
Brendan's got it. Thank you, Brendan.
Thanks, Brendan. All right, where are we at? 1700 in the amount of $13,000. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Joe?
Opposed?
Joe's opposed.
Too much money for the lawyers.
Joe was. Joe, you were in favor of legal services, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have one dissenting vote for
Planning
the planning board in the amount of $13,000. Next up is zoning board, public stenographer, page 5, account number 1080.
We'll have to go back later and cut some.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept $4,500 for that account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jennifer Rashley seconds. Any discussion?
Yeah, we've been getting this lady for a deal for a long time. I was on the zoning board.
That's all she's ever
and
made,
I
like the town
know, that's
sergeant.
what she was getting like then.
We can't fault
God
her.
bless her.
Okay, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? All those opposed? The yeas have it. In the amount of $4,500 for the zoning board public stenographer.
Was that unanimous?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Next up, town sergeant, page 5, account number 1090. This is another one that hasn't gone up in years and years. I'll make a motion to approve $1,500. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Deb Janik seconds.
Can you guys hear me?
I didn't hear that?
Can we hear you? Yes. Yep.
I just checking, okay.
Yeah, you and Deb came in at the same time. We kind of overlapped on the phone.
Sherry can have it. I'll give that to you, Sherry.
Well, thank you.
This isn't Family Feud.
You can have a mud fight later.
I'm just trying to move some
we would like to
things
request
pretty
buzzers
fast.
for next time.
Yeah, just put Deb Daney down as for all of them.
Prepared for this. All right,
I'm just trying to get through the fast ones fast, so.
we'll do a vote. On the phone, Sherry Aker,
Yay,
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
yay,
In the room, all those in favor? Opposed, none. Motion carries unanimously in the amount of $1,500 for the town sergeant. Next is the financial town referendum, page 5, account number 1100. Make a motion, we accept $11,500. Do I have a second?
Go, Sherry.
second,
Sherry, that was you?
Yeah.
yes,
That a girl. Any discussion? On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
yay,
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
yay,
In the room, all those in favor? Unanimous for $11,500 for the financial town referendum. Whenever it does actually happen. Okay. Next, town administrator, page 5, account number 1120. Make a motion to accept $188,098. We have
I'll
a-
second.
Deb Janik seconds. Discussion?
I have one item for discussion.
Yep.
So department manager's salary in the previous year was 92,377. Jan was gonna, they approved a raise for him, but now that he's stepped down, do we have any idea whether we'll start someone at a lower salary and that we can gather
No
some
idea,
gaining
no.
some
I-
savings here?
I do know that what the town council did with all the department heads was they took, I believe it was what would have been a 2% raise and put it in their contingency fund. And then they were gonna start some sort of review procedure and maybe give it back later. How that is going to affect future hiring is, I have no clue.
I'd like to mention one thing about salaries and salary increases. It's, the town council actually has more viewing into this process that we actually do not have.
Exactly.
Right.
So I just wanted us to keep that in mind, that if they have some reason they're doing it, and we can see that it's something's being done, we probably should be a little careful, you know?
Yeah, no,
So,
that wasn't the
Not to you,
direction.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
talking to you,
yeah.
I'm talking to the group,
Because
saying
this-
just to be aware of it, so thanks.
I think her question
Absolutely. I
was-
think that we got
Yeah.
this before he resigned.
Yeah.
So that's why I posed my question the way that I did, was because we were actually issued this document prior to his resignation.
We actually had a 0%. We had a 0% increase on the prior draft,
All right,
so.
yeah, so
It's fine. I mean, it was just a question.
the shorter answer is, I don't know what's gonna happen to that number.
Yep.
It may go up, they may find they have to add a lot to it just to get somebody to come.
Well, we
sure
can
that-
always take the money for the league in cities and towns and use it, because the biggest
That was
waste,
his, yeah. he
biggest
liked that.
waste in this part of our budget is that $10,000.
I would argue that, I have before, but I'm not gonna do it again.
Yep.
Don't waste your time with me.
Yep. Just vote it.
Okay. Is that pretty much it?
Yep.
Okay. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
yay,
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
yay,
in the room, all those in favor? Unanimous? In the amount of $188,098 for the town administrator account 1120.
Excuse
And
me.
if I could just ask if Ruth could speak into the microphone, I could barely
Yeah,
hear
that's what I was
you.
going to, Sherry says she can't hear me, and Deb can't hear me. Is that, Anything you can do, Andrew?
Yeah, I sent her a text on it, I think.
Green.
No, they're coming from the mics. They're listening from the mics. Where's the microphone? So the phone has
So
a
do we need to
the
redirect
phone
this?
might have a defect, are you saying?
All right, maybe we just need to,
Oh, okay, thank you. All
maybe
right.
if we just speak up a little louder.
Okay.
It has
So
to reach
I
the
just want to
mic on-
repeat my comment for Sherry, that, Sherry, I just said that if the town council does something with a salary, they have more vision into some of those things than we do, and we should be just careful what we do. I'm not saying you can't do something, but that's all I said, that you did not hear. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you. I could
Next up.
hear that.
next up is
Thanks, Deb.
land use, page 5, account number 1140. We'll make a motion for $315,313. Do we have a second?
Second.
Jennifer Rashley seconds. Do we have discussion?
Yes,
Joe?
if I could. Part-time zoning of,
Loud for the phone.
the part-time zoning officer. Don't see any need for it. Just bottom line, we could save quite a bit right there.
Any further discussion?
What did Joe say?
Joe is concerned that we do not need the part-time zoning officer whose
Enforcer.
approved, town council approved salary would be $32,480, which is a 1.5% increase over last year.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Okay, for the vote, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Could you hear me all right, Sherry?
Yep.
Okay. Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
in the room, all those in favor? Opposed? Joe is opposed.
And Tom?
Oh, Tom too? I'm sorry.
Thanks,
No,
Tom.
Tom Haley.
Tom Haley.
Tom Haley.
You're opposed.
Yes.
Let me
Thanks,
get
Tom. I don't feel like the lone wolf anymore.
9 to 2.
Lone Ranger.
Can I ask a question?
And I'd like to oppose, I'm changing to
Yes.
oppose also, oppose.
If we, I mean.
Well, I was on the fence
Because
anyway.
because I think that if there is a line item like that they want to, try, that they want to pull out, because I mean, obviously, we're voting on a lot of line items. Maybe we can do what we did last year, which is pull, if somebody wants to, talk about pulling one line item or a line item that's in there in the whole thing, then maybe we could do that and vote on it separately. I know it gets a little confusing when we do that, but at least if it's not the entire thing, if there's a line item that people are, worried, or, would like to vote on separately instead of including it in the whole group.
Does anybody on the phone share that opinion?
Well, I think the way to go would be is that we're moving sort of the whole account together. If someone has a reservation about a line item that they want to increase or decrease, is to spell out to say, is to make a separate, an amendment to the motion to say.
Separate amendment to the motion, okay.
Yeah.
If
I
they
think
so
that's the way to go.
choose.
Got it.
What's really important is just to be clear, to do the math so that we know that if, say, one account was to be cut by 20 grand, that then citing the bottom line number subtracts out the 20 grand so that we're all in agreement what the final number is.
Right.
Okay,
Jay, if I could.
yes, Joe.
I hope they can hear me. My point only was, and I said it earlier, I'm making checks on my budget when we get to the end, and we realize how much this budget's gonna be, and we start realizing how much money we're not gonna get from the state, more than likely, then we can go back and revisit this, but for the sake of expedience, let's just move it along, get through all of this, and get to a bottom line number. Then when it scares the hell out of us, we'll go back. That's what I envision.
That's sort of where I was drifting to. So if anybody has heartburn with any component of any individual account, just highlight it. And maybe not next meeting, but certainly the meeting after that, we can revisit those things and see if that changes what we do. We can always change our vote if we vote to do that.
And I think that's fine. What is the line that you have issue with, Joe?
You can tell. It was the part-time zoning.
Joe's issue was with the part-time zoning enforcer,
Okay.
which is the, well, it's the third one down on that, under land use, and it's for $32,480.
Something we never had in this town. It's like a new position.
Okay. So anyway, we flagged that, and we may hear about that again. Next up, probate court, page 6, account number 1970. Am I right? Yeah, 1970. I will make a motion for an amount of $12,100.
And I'll second that.
We have a second from Deb Janik. Any discussion? On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brenda McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Joe? Unanimous?
No, he
Nope.
said Joe's opposed.
Oh, you said no? Okay, the motion carries with one nay from Joe in the amount of $12,100.
Joe, could I hear why? You mind?
Just move along. I'll bring my reasons
Okay.
up. I'm just opposed to the whole damn thing. How about that?
Next up, tax assessor, page 6, account number 2120. Make a motion for $168,217.
I'll second.
We have Deb Janik seconding. We have discussion. Joe? On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brenda McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? It's unanimous, no opposition, in the amount of $168,217 for the tax assessor. Let me finish my homework here. Next up, reevaluation of restricted account on page 6. Account number 2130. I'll make a motion for $40,000 for that account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jennifer Rashley seconds. Any discussion? This is what's ongoing right now. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brenda McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Unanimous in the amount of $40,000 for the reevaluation account. Here comes a big one. Next up is the treasurer, page 6, account number 2140. Make a motion to approve $201,506. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Brendan McNally seconds. Any discussion? On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik?
Yay.
Brendan McNally?
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley?
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Unanimous for $201,506 for the treasurer. Next up, tax collector, page 7.
At this point, I have to abstain, I'm walking away from the table.
He's a relative.
A relative.
Does he have to fill out one of those forms?
Yep, yeah.
Which
You s-
I-
uh,
I think you can do it later, though.
Yeah, you can, as
Okay,
long as
we'll
you...
do it later. Okay. Joe Souza abstains himself from this vote. Again, the tax collector, page 7, account number 2150, in the amount of $138,371. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Ladies, don't fight over it.
Go ahead, Sherry. You go, Sherry.
No, it's okay. No, let Deb go this time.
You can split it. Do we have?
Deb, just make all the seconds. It'll go a lot faster.
Do we have, do we have any discussion?
Well, I had one issue. I mean,
Yes, Rick.
you've got the staff salaries, and maybe it's contractual, I don't know, but 12% up? That just seems high to me, you
Hang on a
know,
minute,
considering
what
that's
That
the,
was a negotiation this year, wasn't it? That was the new
That's-
contract.
That is
So-
contractual.
Staff salaries, that's, well, it's more than one person for one thing,
no,
and
but,
it's,
but the whole thing, it is 12% up, and I just think that should be watched. I'm making a note, because
well, I can't
that doesn't,
disagree with you.
no salaries usually go up 12%. I mean, even as collectively, it's a lot, so I just don't know
Actually,
why that is. It's just big. It's just
Yeah, and I
noted.
don't think we ever discussed why it went up. It could have been, you know,
Yeah,
they changed who works for how long, or, I don't think they hired anybody.
She was here, I just don't know why we don't know that answer, but okay, keep going.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for $138,371. We've had discussion. Any more discussion?
Oh, I just want to mention that on the prior budget, staff salaries was 0 increase, so I
But
don't,
this was a contract year.
okay, so that, I know that's why, all right, that's fine, go ahead.
All right, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea, nay.
Yay.
Deb Janik.
Yay.
Brendan McNally.
Yay.
Jen Rashley.
Yay.
In the room. All those in favor? All those opposed, no opposition, one abstention. Joe Souza.
And Jay, I know it's too late for discussion, but just notice also the consulting services of 20%. I don't understand consulting services for a tax collector. I mean, not collecting taxes. I didn't understand it. I don't have a note on it, why they have it. Consulting services, so.
Investments,
Well, I will,
for investments,
What investments?
town's investments.
I will make one comment to everybody.
Okay.
When you look at these things, yes, it's natural to look at the percentage increase, but also look at what the dollar increase
Yeah.
was. Because
Yeah.
some, you know, you could go from $1 to $200 and say, oh, wow, that's a hell of an increase. But what are we looking at?
Right, I do see the actual was,
But it's a good point.
the actual was 5,400, so it's really 5,400 to 6,000 instead of 5,000 to 6,000. I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, next up, the tax sale, page 7, account number 2170. Make a motion to approve $3,000 for that account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Deb Janik seconds. Discussion?
I have a question. So are they saying that they used $1,685? That's all they used?
Yeah,
Actual
it went
for
down
last year?
In 2018-19, they used that much. It's one of those, this is one of those accounts where you never know what you're gonna need, so they typically
They try to keep 3 in there?
pick a
Okay.
number. If we don't spend it all, it does go back in the general fund.
I don't think that's what they
Yeah,
used. I think
okay.
that's what the account went down to. They were negative $1,685.
Is that what that's saying?
Yes. So they,
That's what I thought.
So-
That's why it's in parentheses.
yeah, so they used $4,685 that year.
So 3,000 may or may not be enough, but
There's some years that it is.
yeah,
Okay.
it's better than 0, and it's not out of this, it's not excessive.
Not really a big discussion need on
Okay.
it.
Any more discussion? On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay?
Mike Dakotas, or not Mike Dakotas, Deb Janik.
Yay.
Same thing.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay?
Okay, in the room, all those in favor? Motion carries unanimously in the amount of $3,000 for the tax sale. Next up is insurance. Page 7, account number 2190.
Jay, could you explain this a little bit, like how much control we have on it at this point? How much
How to
control?
explain that?
We don't really have
All right.
any wiggle room on it, correct?
I think it's like the salaries, we don't really, that's not where we
A
can
lot of
really
this
wiggle.
is as the result of contract negotiations.
Yeah.
And the like. We can't tell the insurers what we're willing to pay, they tell us what we have to pay, that type of thing.
Well, the only thing they can do is go to a different insurer instead of Blue,
Which
if
we
it-
could, but
I'm
that's
just saying.
way out of our,
No, not our thing, I know.
Out of our wheelhouse,
yeah, that's out of
way
our,
out of our wheelhouse.
out of our lanes, as
That's
Jen
out of our
says.
lanes, out of our highway.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve $3,179,000 for this account. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Deb Janik, seconds. Do we have any discussion? Really, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and they go through groups so that we get the best rates.
And in all fairness, look at some of the columns, they all went down, negative 22%, negative 11.58, negative 17.65. I think they tried to find some savings.
Yeah, and some of that will be because employees, I know this past negotiating session, concessions were made by different unions and different groups.
I mean, the entire account goes down 3%.
Yeah, so they accept a little bit more of the share of the expense, which takes it away from us. We don't know, to get the details of that, you'd have to read each and every contract carefully.
Right. Last year it was less than 3 million, for some
Right,
reason.
so-
It was a reason that it went down. We don't know exactly.
Right, so we have a motion and a second. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay?
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay?
In the room, all those in favor? Motion carries unanimously in the amount of $3,179,000 for insurance. Hang on a minute. Next, audit of town accounts, page 7, account number 2200. Make a motion to accept $25,000 for this account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Deb Janik seconds. Discussion.
I have a question. Don't we know
I know
exactly
it's
what it
only a
costs?
few $1,000s, but, I mean, I look at that they actually spent 18,004, and I guess I'm not understanding, you know, obviously, audits are really important. I just am not really sure why they raised it, you know, if they only spent 18,4, because there's 22 was approved last year for it. So why it needed to go up to 25 unless they know that the cost of it's going up or something.
Well,
I think this is the one Denise Surratt was talking about. We had to put it out for bid.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
right,
We
but
anticipated that it would be more.
right, but it's been done, so we should know the cost exactly at this point. Why don't we have the exact cost?
This is for next year.
For next year.
Oh, okay, sorry, yeah, you got it, I was not thinking right.
This year, yeah,
We'll have the actual when we come back, but
once we receive bids.
The actual last year, 18.4, okay, she did explain that, okay, I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
Probably one of the meetings I wasn't at. So she explained that they expect the bid to be higher this year.
But we could certainly flag it if you would like to, Sherry, and we could vote on it, we could flag it and come back to it if we want any further
It just may
information.
be somewhere where we can save a few pennies.
Start scraping pennies, we'll be back.
Okay, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay?
Jennifer Ashley,
Yay.
in the room, all those in favor? Joe,
I'm opposed.
you're opposed? One opposition. Motion carries in an amount of $25,000 for town audits with Joe opposed. Are you gonna flag that further?
I flagged it.
Okay,
I did too, but just move along.
I'm working on it.
listen, we're only 1 hour in and look how far we've gotten. We're doing a good job.
I'm starting to get hoarse.
Do you want me to read them for a little bit?
Huh?
You want me to
No, I'm
read them
okay.
for a little bit?
I'm on a roll.
All right.
Next up, pension plans, page 7, account 2220. This is one that is greatly influenced by contract negotiations. Make a motion to accept $1,388,727. We have a second.
I'll second.
Deb Janik, seconds. Do we have discussion? Okay.
Contractual.
On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea, nay.
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay?
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
in the room. All in favor? Unanimous. $1,388,727 for pension plans. It's going easy because we haven't hit any of the hard stuff yet.
That's why that hard one's the last one on the page. That's the one where it's gonna go sideways.
That'll be next week. Next up, OPEB Trust Fund, page 7. It's listed as a new account, even though it isn't. Make a motion for $100,000 for that account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jennifer Rashley seconds. Any discussion? Joe? Oh, I'm sorry, phone first.
I'm just, can someone refresh me as to what this is?
Stranded costs
Did
for
we, because
retirees'
it's showing
healthcare,
as
isn't it?
new,
Yeah,
but we
it's,
had it this year, the current year we're in.
This is the one where they said that we have to start putting not that $100,000 minute, but we need to start putting, our debt is so high that we need to start adding to it. That's why it was the first time it passed last year.
Yeah.
That we need to show that we're showing contribution to it, to the state.
But
See other
Jen,
posts-
that's 2,300 unfunded liability that you're talking about,
No, I was talking about the ER share, the trust fund.
this is other post-employment benefits.
Yeah, it's to pay for healthcare for retarees.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of
But
thing.
it's way underfunded. That's why we started to put money into
True.
it last year, because I forgot what the actual number is. Something huge, like 25.
No, that's unfunded liability. That's the
No,
huge
no, no.
number.
This was,
No.
we're not talking about the pension part, we're talking about the healthcare part
Okay.
for retirees.
Okay.
And what it is was they thought because, well, we saw healthcare growing up at rates of like 8% a year, if you remember.
Still can't
So
hear Joe.
the idea was to put some money away in advance because we're gonna kind of have a bubble if we have a lot of people retiring and, but, we've always paid, I mean, as we go. And we've always had little ripples in the tax rate. I don't know why.
This would be a very poor year to have a ripple.
Yeah, I realize that, but I mean, even putting $100,000, I mean, if we invest that in the stock market,
Well, that's where it's invested.
that's what I'm saying for future uses, but I don't know.
It says last year we gave 100,000 also to both of those two
And that was
accounts.
I'm
the
just not
first
gonna
year
vote
we
for
did
it.
it.
I'll flag it.
Because they came in, when they
Right.
came and talked to us last year, that was a strong suggestion that we start to do this, we'll never meet the requirement, what it is right now. If I'm remembering the right figure, it was around $25 million. But we needed to start to get towards that. The unfunded liability is the ones that we might have to pay out if somebody retires, that's separate. But this is the one that goes up to the state starts to chip away at our liability.
They're both funded.
Right, but one of them is 100% ours, so like if somebody retires right now, we have to pay them out all their sick and.
Yeah, I'd like to know that max amount too, but anyway, what we should have in there. Go ahead, it's okay, later.
Well, my thought is when the state goes insolvent, then we can get some decent deals, so we shouldn't put any money in. Let's go broke.
Bankruptcy is not a good deal.
Oh, yeah?
All right. On the
Going there
phone,
anyway.
Sherry Aker, yay or nay?
Speed it up.
I'm still having a really tough time hearing people, but, yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Are you opposed?
Opposed.
Okay.
$100,000.
Joe Souza is opposed. The motion carries for $100,000 with one opposition. Next up? Yes. Somebody start coughing?
I think she was clearing her throat.
Next up, Social Security, page 7, account number 2250. This is another one that's heavily influenced by contract negotiations. Make a motion to approve $583,731. Do I have a second?
A second.
Deb Janik seconds. Any discussion?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a
just
Ponzi
math. This
scheme.
is
Let's
just
not
what
pay
comes
it.
out of people's heads.
It's illegal.
Now that we got that out of the way,
You asked.
on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brenna McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor?
I was gonna say, you're not gonna raise your hand for Social Security.
Unanimous For 500,
Well, we got no choice, okay.
hey
I
guys,
don't want to take it, I'll be what, I don't want to take it out of my check either, but.
unanimous for $583,731 for Social Security. Next up, unemployment security. Again, page 7, count number 2270.
We better pay that one.
Well,
Can we add to that?
Could we add to that? That's gotta be a little higher this year.
I don't think anybody is going to be willingly quitting their jobs anytime soon.
Okay.
I quit them.
Nope.
I make a motion to accept $15,000 for this account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Phone for-
Deb Janik seconds.
Almost beat 'em.
Any discussion?
How come I can't second one?
Has to go phone first.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
that.
but if they don't say anything for the.
Tell them to be silent,
Circuit,
silent.
bro.
So where we at? We have a second, no discussion, right?
We're all set.
It went from 10,000.
On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
in the room, all those in favor? Unanimous for $15,000 for unemployment security, and I'll repeat to everybody, just so you know, the reason I'm doing it this way is because the town solicitor expressed an opinion through Nancy Mello that we have to do it this way. And I just don't feel like arguing the point.
Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Great.
Next up, unfunded liability, page 7, count number 2300. This is the one that covers if people quit or whatever. I make a motion to approve $100,000 for this account. Do I have a second?
Go, Joe.
Second.
Joe! Joe Souza seconded. Discussion.
No, noted.
Noted.
Yeah, I think we could cut this in half, so I'm gonna put an arrow by it. I think we could make this down to 50,000. That's a lot of money, 100,000. We just had,
Well, look at the actual at 2018, 2019.
yeah, but we just went through that cycle with retirees of police. We got a lot of new guys on now, so I don't see a lot of retirees.
I don't know.
Joe, just to interrupt for 1 second, if I'm
I think this year we're
recalling,
gonna have a whole lot of people who are sick.
well, that might be one thing to consider
got
is
nothing
the
to do
sick
with
time
this.
being, well, no, because this one is sick time and vacation paid out only when they retire.
Yeah,
But
This
if
is
I'm
their payout when they leave.
Right. If I'm remembering this conversation correctly, when they came and talked to us, there was the potential of not only retirees, the police chief thought he had a couple officers that might be moving out. Like, I know the gentleman that was a school resource officer was one, and he had the potential for a few others, if I'm recalling
I
that
know him, too.
conversation. That's kind of where we ended up at that amount.
but if they leave in the middle of the year, they're already, money's already budgeted in their salary to take care of that.
But I
You got
thought,
the rest of their salary, so if they leave in the
No,
middle
that's a
of
good
the
point.
year,
yeah,
take my word for it. 50,000 is more than enough for the amount. That's just my opinion. you
We'll
know.
flag it.
I'll
Okay,
flag it.
I flagged it. We'll move on.
I will make,
Come on, stop arguing.
I will
Oh,
make.
no,
a
I'm not
com-
arguing, I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question.
Let me make this comment because
not
I
safe.
don't know what's going
Just
to
kidding.
happen, but I wouldn't
Kids
be
can
surprised if it did. At some point, the state or the feds, they just come out and say, we're not going to use employees' vacation time or sick time to cover this emergency.
Yeah.
They could very well do that. Will they? I don't know. They might. So we may need that and we may not.
I'm going to need a future,
Well,
maybe in
if
the
you
future.
look at the actual, it was actually 116,435 last year, so.
I-
Yeah, it was.
I'm next.
I'm just saying that we did actually go over, so I think keeping it 100,000 is probably a good idea.
Sorry, Sherry.
Yeah, the
Sherry.
number was 100,000.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, the number's 100,000.
Yeah,
I'm going to need some more information on what does happen to the rest of the salary when someone quits or leaves, you know.
Still in the account.
But
It still
what does
stays.
that
It stays in the
do with it?
account unless they hire someone. So
that can
if
be
they
for a later
hire someone
time,
like
but
police
I'm
or
not
fire,
clear on it.
it takes a while to get them into a position, but some of the others may not. Depends on who the employee is.
Exactly. And
I'll get more on it
an
myself later.
employee, the employee's salary parts of these accounts are not restricted. So they can be used
It
within the
goes, but
department
I would like
for
to
other
know
things.
where it's going. I mean,
Okay.
you know, so that's, okay, thank you.
So I think Joe's gonna flag it,
I flagged it.
but we'll vote on it the way it is. So for unfunded liability.
Would that be in the transfers, Jay, in the list of
I haven't
transfers?
looked lately.
We can look later, okay, thank you.
We have, I made a motion of $100,000. We had a second. We have discussion. So Sherry Aker, yay or nay?
Yay?
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yep.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yes, yay.
All those in the room in favor? Joe's opposed. And he does have a valid point. So the motion
Brendan, do
carries.
we need to vote on the bottom line?
I'm sorry?
I was just asking if Brendan knew do we need to vote on the bottom line
Did you have-
total like we did, or
Sherry,
if we're,
Sherry,
or
he
are we
hasn't
just
gotten
doing
there
a
yet.
preliminary vote?
Jay hasn't gotten there yet.
Nowhere near the bottom line.
No, she's.
Yeah,
looking
I
at
don't,
the breakdown.
I don't think
No,
any of these.
no, we're not there yet.
It's a fair question, Sherry, but I think it's
Actually,
mechanical. It's just math.
Okay.
yeah, I haven't gotten to a real big number yet.
Yeah, we don't have to vote on the grand total.
Really, we don't.
Gotta make sure that's the right number in the bottom.
And unless Denise misses the math, you know. All right, so what was that? That was unfunded liability, correct?
That's right.
Fire Department, page 8, account number 3310.
Page 8 and 9.
Page 8.
8 and 9 goes over. If we're doing it as one total, if we're doing it as one total, the fuck.
8 and 9.
Starts
So it's
on
8
eight,
Oh,
that's
I'm
fine,
sorry.
starts on eight.
Operating flips over to page 9.
8 and 9. Be bad.
Are we doing salary first?
Wasn't going to, I was going to do the
We're gonna
numbers.
just do the whole thing?
Well,
Okay.
Okay, you want to do it that way, salaries?
No, I don't know. I just wanted to
well,
know what page
I
to
had
be on.
questions on salaries, so, but I mean, if you want to,
Okay, then
We
I
could-
need, if we're going to do that, then I need to pencil in something here. Okay, so I'll make a motion to accept in the salary account for the department, fire department, $2,341,833. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Deb Janik seconds. Discussion, Joe.
okay, a little bit of history, because some, I guess, members might not have been on the board when we first brought on clerical at the fire department. It was to do billing. The clerk would bill the insurance companies for the ambulances calls and try to, all right, she started off part-time billing. Then we were told, well, she can get more done if we go full-time, so we went full-time. Then we were told we can get even more done if we took on a part-time clerk. Now that we've privatized it, it's just my opinion that we could go back to the part-time clerk at the fire department. I know there's gonna be rumbles about it, but if you look at where we came from, she was hired to do billing. She's not doing billing anymore. Therefore, I think we can cut the hours. That's my opinion.
So, Joe, I understand what you're saying on the math side, right? So we don't fund it, but we don't have the capability to let that person go. We're just gonna underfund the line item and make them pull it from another place.
Not necessarily.
Because we don't have.
Exactly. We don't.
have the capability to let that person go. and
Actually,
change
we've
their
done
job.
that with the planner before, where we didn't fund the planner, and the salary ran out, and the planner was let go. The first third, whatever the heck he was planner, we've had too many. But my bottom line is, yes, I know we don't drive policy, but we make recommendations. And if we make a recommendation that it's only a half-salary position, that's our opinion, and the voters make that decision over the voters have the final, the decision even over the council. So we're just making a recommendation, we're not telling the council what to do. It's not a policy, it's just a recommendation to the voter, that's my opinion.
And we'll make one note here, the actual for 2018-19 was $63,000 and change. We had $50,000 approved at the FTR. The town administrator department head request for this year was basically $51,000, and the town council has changed that to basically $52,000.
And removed the part-time person, if I'm reading
And they
right.
removed the part-time person because she quit. And then at that time, that sort of drove the decision to hire an outside firm to take control of the third-party billing for the ambulance service, which went south bad. I mean, we're $500,000 in the hole in that right now. Any further discussion on this? Joe, do you want to red flag anything on this?
Well, I have a question. So,
Yes.
so is that how they got the actual for the clerical one full-time was 63,158? Did they add in what they were paying the part-time person into her total?
I think that was what they did that year.
I can't hear you, Jay.
See what she's asking, Jay?
Yeah,
No, I
think
don't.
All right, 18-19 FTR, there was a full-time and a part-time, but then the actual was 63. So you had 50,000, and then you had 16,400, but then the actual was 63. She's asking if they lumped those together, and that's how they got that. Or did the part-time person?
To see zero
We
for
did
the
it
part-time?
part-time person that
I
year,
see what you're asking.
But we don't know the answer, I don't think.
The answer is, I don't know. I do know that at one time, we had two bodies as clerks in the fire department, and one was the full-time clerk, who had always been there, and at one time had been doing this billing. And then we, the budget committee, supported the idea of hiring a part-timer to take care of that billing, and it was effective. We did make money on that. But then this year, she quit.
Okay, because I think that, I don't know how you want to do it, but I think going with, the department head request, of that 5856 is, so I guess you can vote. I just don't see any reason why not to go with the department head requested less than what the council approved, and I'm not sure why.
Okay, so you would like to flag that for further information?
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
She's been given a raise.
So is the
Well, that's
clerical?
true, too.
Is it hourly, the clerical?
So she's been given a raise, but the department head didn't request a raise for her, but the town council did?
No, but part of this was, with the new contract negotiations, remember, a lot of money was put into the town council contingency fund, and its purpose was to be used later on once the negotiations were finalized, and we knew what those numbers would be, and that's in fact what happened.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. That could have been simply because of differences in contract.
That is a contractual position.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it is too.
Yeah.
But I think I thought the part, I don't see.
And it may have been when that budget was put together, when Jan put that together back, in the winter, before, maybe that hadn't happened yet, so
Right.
they added it later.
Back in January 5th, when we got our first document, those numbers were not known and the contracts were not finalized at that time,
Okay,
which is why they put what they thought might be their best estimate into the contingency fund, so then it could be put back later into the various accounts where it was needed. That clear as mud?
no, yeah, I do recall Jan talking about that.
Okay, do we have any further discussion on salaries, Joe?
Not on salaries, but on building
Well,
maintenance.
no, let's get out of salaries quick.
Oh, okay, I thought we were doing the whole thing at one shot.
So-
Sorry.
Okay, do we want to vote on the salary
Yes.
part of this?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve $2,341,833 for fire department salaries.
I think I already seconded that.
Okay, and we had a second, we've had our discussion. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay,
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Opposed? Joe, you're opposed?
Yep.
Okay, we have one opposition to $2,341,833 for fire department salaries, and you flagged that, right? Okay, next up, operating expenses, which is on page 8 and 9. And we have I'll make a motion to approve $346,454 for fire department operations. Do I have a second?
Second.
And Jocelyn seconds it. Do we have discussion? Joe?
Well, only that fuel, oil, and tires was high last year, even higher this year. I just thought
It's always high.
yeah, it's,
Actually, fuel prices are going down.
that's what I mean. It's,
Yeah, but
Yeah, good
Now-
point, good point.
no, not.
what's gonna happen next October?
Yeah, the
November?
problem is you look at what we're doing right this second, and yeah, great, we're all getting some savings on some fuel, but what it's gonna be in July.
Well,
And
way-
Jen,
and it's-
the way we're drilling in the United States, I say prices are gonna stay, you know,
Right,
stable.
But the actual last year was 49,200.
and operations is going down over 8% since last year.
Yeah, they don't have yeah, that's good, Deb.
Jen, I will make a comment that, yes, we see prices at the pump going down, but the town, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, has contracts for fuel, and those contracts are enforced, they don't go down just because the pump price went down, do they?
Well, it depends on who you have the contract with, because they certainly go up if all of a sudden there's a spike. So I'm assuming they also
Do they go up,
down
or?
by a percentage.
Well, like when you have a fixed price for fuel oil, you're taking a chance on
Yeah.
what the price is gonna be, the
But we're
oil
paying them.
company is, and we hope it goes down.
I'm pretty
they're not
sure
pulling
we're
up to the
paying a
shelf,
daily
huh?
rate, though. We might have a contract for service to deliver, but I'm pretty sure
The
we're
price
paying.
might
Yeah,
We're paying
you
like
probably
a
have a
daily
contract
rate.
with a provider, but not in a locked-in price.
Right.
That
No,
fluctuates.
I don't think we do that anymore.
That's gonna fluctuate.
I'm not familiar with those contracts, but Joe probably is more so than I am. All right, so we have a motion, we have a second, we've had discussion, do we have any more? Okay, on the phone, Sherry Aker. You want me to repeat what the motion was?
Yes, I have also marked a couple things to revisit, but yay.
Okay, yay. Hang on, I need to write this in here quick. Bear with me a minute. Fire department ops. 364, 6. Okay, Sherry Aker, yay. Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Ashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Opposed? Joe, you're opposed? Motion carries for $346,451 for fire department operations, with Joe opposed.
Jay, I think since we did the fire department in two, we probably should do the police department the same
I
way.
agree, and before I do that,
Just a
I'm gonna
question,
divvy it up on my sheet so I don't have to.
do we, because we passed both line items the way that they are, do we need to vote on the total or no?
I thought we said no.
No, okay, I'm sorry.
We're not
I
voting.
mean, we haven't changed any numbers,
Yep, okay,
which would cause us to do that.
okay, thank you.
And unless,
That saves time.
unless Denise has totally messed up her math,
No, well,
it'll
no.
be right.
I've double checked it here, so.
And we got Tom over there, par excellence. All right, so let me, hang on a minute, salary. 3059.
Come on, it's almost 7:30 already.
I'm actually surprised
Don't have a cow.
how well this is going and how far we're down.
It's just the first phase though, so.
Well, that is in a large part to everybody's cooperation and help. So,
So even after national states of emergency, this is how we should run this for next year?
you guys could
Come
do
back.
whatever,
No audience.
you can all do what you want.
Jen, you still want to be 6 feet
Wait,
apart.
You don't think you're gonna get reelected?
I don't think that's a
Started-
bad news.
You already started your campaign,
I'm
man.
not trying.
I was teasing you, Jen.
You sound
I
like
know,
that
I know.
clown Mike Dakotas, I think you know him.
We're not ready. to
Jay
say
in
goodbye
2020.
yet, Jay, come
Huh?
on. I said, we're not ready to say goodbye. quite
2020,
yet.
Jay, re-election.
You're looking at your new president over there.
Oh, no,
Jay,
Hang on, hang on,
don't
I
worry,
got-
we can still start a
no. Put
write-in
your name on the
campaign.
back of that seat.
Okay, I'm gonna put a nail in the back of your head.
We're gonna start a write-in campaign.
Okay, we're on, yeah.
Don't
yeah.
need that many.
Okay, police department, page 9.
Tom, you don't need that many.
You got 2 votes.
He's got 2 votes, there you go. See how that worked out for Tom?
Page 9, we're on police salaries. I make a motion for $3,059,106 for police department salaries. Do I have a second?
Second,
I'll second.
oh, whatever, Deb takes. Deb,
One of the Debs,
They get 2 seconds.
How many Debs do we have?
as many as it
Well,
takes.
you're still me, so.
Okay, discussion? Joe?
Deputy chief?
That was taken out, wasn't it?
No,
no,
that's
Oh, it
new.
wasn't.
it's new, but it's zeroed out and, or no, I'm sorry, it's a 0%, it's new.
Well,
Well, that's not zeroed out here.
No, no, no,
No,
I'm
no,
sorry,
no,
I
no,
meant the
it's a new,
percentage.
it's a new position that
position.
they worked out to put the deputy chief back in lieu of the chief not filling 3 open positions.
In lieu of the chief, what?
Not filling the 3 positions. Remember, we told us about the trainees at the, in training that stopped?
Yeah, and we all received information on why he would like that, and what the benefits would be, and what the downsides would be, and you can accept or not those arguments.
well, only that, my thing was if the deputy chief, I mean, if we were like eliminating the captain position,
Which we're not.
then I wouldn't have a problem with, moving that position out of the union. And I
Right.
know we don't make policy,
But deputy
But
chief
we
is
do-
not in the union.
No.
that's my point, though.
Right.
I mean, if we were to say, take the captain position, we wouldn't have a captain anymore. We'd still have lieutenants, but the captain now would be out of the union and would be the deputy chief. I could agree with that, but a new position, although they paid for it this year, we still gotta pay for it every year. So,
But keep in
as
mind.
much as I wanna help our police, we gotta
Yes.
watch this budget.
It's not a union position,
I know that.
so they can be let go at will,
I realize that. But,
if it doesn't work out, or
but
whatever.
then again, I wouldn't wanna, give the guy a job and then 2 years from now, oh, sorry, we can't afford it anymore. It just seems to me it would have been a better move to make, that next
Isn't it a-
salary, next,
Right. But I'll say on the face of things, the chief is not taking a raise this year, and he's also putting in almost a 0.5% decrease as an operating for salary. So still, I understand what you're saying going forward, but
And
yeah, but
that,
just,
it's year on year.
It's incorrect to say he's not taking a raise, because his raise is in the contingency fund.
But on paper, we're not voting on that,
No, possibly.
what we're voting on.
I'm saying what's here.
I understand.
I flagged it, made my point.
Paul made his point. Tom?
There's another aspect here, and I asked the chief a quick question, does he think he's gonna be able to fill all his positions this year? He says extremely unlikely,
No, good.
right? So I don't know how to handle it. I don't wanna penalize him for being honest and reducing his budget next year. Looks like it's a raise type of thing. He just won't spend it. So, I mean, there's potentially ways to reduce the budget there. I wouldn't wanna do it without his cooperation though.
He knows where you live, right?
You want to make enemies with the police chief?
So you're saying, Tom, if it was reduced due to that it could be
Just
raised?
the fact that he's not gonna, you're just trying to guess what the budget is, I mean.
If it was
in
reduced,
the real world, that's what you would do, you would
Okay.
estimate what you're gonna pay.
so you're saying if it was reduced for the reasons you gave,
Yeah.
then the next year, if it was needed, you can raise it? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd wanna make that happen, but it's not conducive to that, so.
Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second, we've had discussion. Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay?
Deb Janik?
Yay.
Brendan McNally?
Yay?
Jennifer Rashley?
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Joe's opposed? The motion carries for $3,059,106 for the police department's salary account with Joe opposed. Next is, okay, police department general contractual and mandated expenses on page 10. Make a motion for $184,000, $184,110. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Ruth Hallenbeck seconds. We have any discussion? Joe?
Code red? How do I get out of getting I get like 50 messages on my phone, but I don't even want to fund it. I don't know. That was just something I think,
Where am I looking?
I got like 50 messages on my phone about the
Oh,
coronavirus in the last.
Yeah.
is that from the state though, or from local?
But it's because I'm on this system, right?
Yeah, you
You
can
can-
just call the fire,
you
the
can
police
opt out of
department and
that,
opt
can't
out
You
of
can
that.
opt out, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
But do you want to do that?
Yes. I'm tired of my phone. It feels like I got a bee in my pocket when it goes off. It scares the hell out of me.
You want to opt out of all of my emails too?
Oh, I must not be in that.
You're not gonna know if the world ends.
I'm just wondering if it's really, people really want that in town or not.
People
Well,
use
if they
it,
don't,
yeah,
they
you
can.
know,
Did Joe say he has a bee in his
Paying for it.
pocket?
Don't even ask.
Small amount
Don't
every
even
year.
ask.
It's just something I put as a cut.
You know-
possible cut.
Who was on the phone?
That was Sherry.
It was just me. I just said I heard Joe say he has a bee in his pocket.
It's what it-
okay.
When my
move
phone
along.
vibrates.
Let's move along, please,
Okay,
please.
we've had our discussion. Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik?
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Ashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor?
I'm gonna vote for it.
Joe, opposed? It's unanimous in the amount of $184,000 for police
I made my-
general contractual mandated expenses. Moving on, Police Department Operations, page 10. I'll make a motion for $235,400 for this account. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Brendan McNally seconds. Any discussion?
Only that, this is when I should have been talking about Code Red.
I was wondering where you were getting Code Red from.
Sorry.
Well, it certainly doesn't cost a lot of money.
No, it doesn't. I'm just tired of getting the messages. I'm gonna opt out if I.
Opt out. You can do it tonight. Any further discussion? Sherry Aker, yay, nay?
Yay.
Deb Janet?
Yay.
Brendan McNally?
Yay.
Jennifer Ashley?
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Opposed?
Opposed to Code Red.
You want to get rid of Code Red, or you just want to get rid of it for you?
Come on, I'm just
Or are you opposed or not?
opposed.
We take a couple of seconds break, I need some water.
Can we just like call it for like 5 seconds,
5 minutes?
bathroom, and we're gonna.
5 minutes.
screwed him out of big, so he did that.
Next up, municipal court, page 10, account number 1960. Make a motion for $18,500 for this account. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Janik seconds. Discussion? Pretty much is what it is. Remember, they're part, you know, they're, a lot of their stuff comes from the police department, they share, so that's why some of their things went down.
Right.
Any discussion? On the phone, Deb Janik, yea or nay? Or, sorry, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brenda McNally,
Yay?
Jennifer Ashley,
Yay.
in the room, all those in favor? Motion carries unanimously for $18,500 for municipal court. Next, Harbor and Coastal Management, page 11, account number 3350. This is a ridiculous number. Make a motion for $300. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? None. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brenda McNally,
Yay?
Jennifer Ashley,
Yay.
in the room, all those in favor? Motion carries unanimously in the amount of $300 for Harbor Coastal Resource, or Harbor and Coastal Management. Next up is the Harbor Master, page 11, account number 3360. Making a motion in the amount of $29,985 for this account. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Deb Janik seconds. Discussion?
Jay?
Yes,
They have two brand-new motors now, so I just want to mention on the repairs, it's supplies and expenses, and boat repairs is included in that. 2,800 last year. I just was hoping that the repairs would go down. That's what I'm trying to say. They had a lot of issues with the old motors and other types of things, but the boat's in pretty good shape. I just would I would expect to see that go down a little bit, that's all.
Keep in mind, well, any discussion on the phone?
Did Ruth just say something?
No, Sherry, I just said they have two brand-new boat motors, so I'd expect the repair item to go down a little bit. I mean, they had a lot of issues with the old motors, and now they have brand-new motors, so I'm just, kind of questioning it, mentioning it. Not a big thing, it's not a big problem here, but I'm just mentioning it.
Motors have to be maintained, right?
We can move on, it's fine. I'll just mention
Any
it.
other discussion? Okay, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay? Sherry? Sherry? Deb Janik?
Yay.
Brenda McNally?
Yay?
Jennifer Ashley?
Yay.
Sherry Aker, are you with us still?
Sherry?
Okay, we don't know. In the room,
Wait, why don't we hold the
I'm
vote and
texting
restart
up.
the,
Let
find
me
out
just
if she's
text
still
her a
Calling it.
second.
Can anybody call her quick?
Let me just call her.
We'll pause while we try to get Sherry on the phone.
Just say you can't hear you, see what she says.
She was just,
I was disconnected.
Alright, we gotta shut it down and restart.
No, I don't think I do.
We have one here. Or do we have to
I
redo this?
don't think I do.
Okay.
I just told her they're
Let me see if I can do it again.
Deb, hang on, Deb,
I told her she's redialing.
Yeah.
we still have you. Jennifer?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, so
okay,
we're-
hold on,
We're gonna try
guys.
to get Sherry. Oh, you don't have to put 401 in.
I did, so. Okay, you're back?
Yep.
Okay.
Make sure we have all of them.
She said conference. Okay, Brendan, Jennifer,
Okay, we're good.
Deb,
Yep.
Sherry?
Yep.
Okay, so Sherry, we're voting on the Harbor Master at $29,985, yea or nay?
Yay.
Okay. In the room, all those in favor? Thank you, Mike. I wouldn't have been able to do this stuff.
Speedy dial. MVP, Jack.
What the hell is this?
So did you tally that vote?
Yes, I
unanimous?
just did.
Unanimous.
Great, thank you.
Okay, it was unanimous for $29,985 for the Harbor Master. Next up, Public Works, page 12, count 5540. So we want to break this one up too?
I think so.
Okay, so give me a second to rearrange my brains here. Salary, 665. Okay, so on the Public Works salary account, I make a motion for $665,673. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Deb Janik seconds. Discussion?
You're on 5540?
Yes, on the salary section of it, at the top.
Are they union positions as well, the DPW clerk and stuff like that?
Very much
They
so.
all are, yes.
So the clerk got a 33.5% raise, is that what we're saying?
I'm going to tell you, I wondered about that too, and I didn't delve into it like I should have.
Right, I didn't either, so seems, so.
That's what I'm curious about as well, why such a big increase?
I think all of us should probably
Oh,
wonder how that
well,
got.
actual 2018-19 is 60,000, so I just wonder how that works, because if the actual is different than approved, that means it must have been hourly, oh, I don't know what that means.
I mean, she
I-
got a raise and they paid it out, but I don't know how they
Well,
are
let's
gonna
do this.
reduce her.
It could be overtime.
We'll,
The next was
It
approved.
could be going part-time to full-time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I'm not sure.
council approved 51,000 to
And
full-time.
if I had been thinking about it when I walked in here
Yeah.
tonight, Rick was
Right.
sitting here and I could have asked him, but it
I
just,
don't know how I didn't pick that one
Yeah.
up either, but, I mean, we actually paid her 59, they're only asking for 51, I don't understand how.
I don't.
In 18-19.
So let's
I
do
don't know what
this.
that means either.
We'll flag it.
Yeah, I got it.
How many maintenance workers are there?
I'm gonna ask Rick.
In building maintenance, too.
Well, it says maintenance workers and it's 419,000. Is that one guy that has a real good paycheck or?
It's gotta be more than two, they
Well,
can't
yeah,
be
you
making
would think.
$200,000 apiece.
I
Maintenance
think it-
workers
I thought it
is.
was 8, wasn't it?
8,
8, I think.
I think. Joe?
I thought we were talking about the two guys that go around and pick up the
No,
trash.
no, no, no. He's
No,
on,
no, no.
he's on the second part here where it says maintenance workers, 444,000. Isn't there 8 employees down there?
That's what I remember.
Yeah. All right, so let's do this. We'll
Shouldn't call
We'll vote on this, we'll flag it, and
Yeah.
I'll make it a point of getting further information on what that's all about.
Or do
Okay,
you wanna
so,
hold this one, Jay?
No, vote on it, we can go back.
We're going to go back, I think.
Okay.
We'll see the final number.
yeah. Okay, so, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Opposed?
Opposed? Deb Janik?
I'm gonna go yay because I think this is all contractual.
Yeah, we gotta find out some more on it, that's all. So are you yea or nay?
I'm gonna say yay because
Okay.
I think it's
Brendan McNally?
contractual.
I'm same, I'm yay, but I would love to hear more.
Okay, so look, we could just vote not to vote on this particular thing
Yeah, that's what
and
I
just
was
move
saying.
on to some other ones.
I think we need to have that question answered
Okay,
before
so
we
let's-
can make an.
Okay,
a-
so I withdraw my motion, and I will make a
I'll
motion that
withdraw my
we table this
second.
until next week.
Correct, yeah, I
Okay.
don't
All
think,
those in favor of that?
That's fine, but
On the
Yay.
phone?
we'll still see the
Yay.
number here on
Yay.
the
Yay.
document, right?
Yay.
Okay, so the phone says yay, I think we
Oh,
say
okay.
yay.
Yeah, so we'll still see that number that's here on his, when we look at his
It's
thing.
not gonna change
Okay,
until we
thank
have
you.
something to change.
but I don't think you can make a informed decision without that.
I agree. And I don't know why we didn't pick up on this sooner, or if
no
we did.
idea.
something earlier.
I don't know. Okay. Public Works operating expenses. I gotta make myself a new line here. Public Works. Ops. 920. Okay, Public Works Operations, I make a motion for $920,130. Do I have a second?
Second?
Jen Rashley seconds. Discussion. Joe?
I'd like to move $2,000 out of heating oil over to capital for a waste oil heater for the Public Works garage. So, I'm thinking 2,000,
Closer to 5.
okay? But we'll have to find more elsewhere, because I mean, might still need a little bit of oil. So,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I can't hear.
so this would be one, I think,
Okay,
run operating expenses, correct?
yeah, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so what Joe is talking about, and what he's been pushing in the past and what I've been pushing more recently, is there's a thing called a waste oil furnace. And what it does is it burns used crankcase oil and turns it into heat. We get a lot of used crankcase oil in the DPW that right now we pay to have removed, and it just goes to somebody else to be used for whatever purpose. We could recapture a lot of BTUs out of that waste oil, plus we would not have the expense of having it removed if we were to invest in a waste oil furnace. Now, when I talked to Rick about this many times, he prefers to wait until one of his dies and then replace it at that time. So, that's, Joe wanted to slip some money into this to buy one of these waste heat units so that we could recapture the, what we're in the oil. Yes, Jen?
So if we move that dollar amount from the oil and gas, would we have to create a new account on the capital side to include that purchase? So we'd have to reopen capital and go ahead, I'm not opposed to this, I'm just asking how it would work.
my thought was, we'll have to just basically put some money in to make up, but if we could use some of the money that we're currently putting into heating oil,
Right.
and then add in the rest of the money, whatever, I mean, maybe make a line account for 10,000, so we can cover any other expenses, like putting the chimney in and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
But, I mean, really, where I worked in Newport, we had one, I mean, we heated a huge building, and that's all we used. So-
If we did that and put it back into the capital, would we have to restrict it so that it's used for that? So that if we do
Well, all
put,
capital's restricted, as far as I know, right?
right, so we would have to reopen capital, add that in as a line item, and it would have to be restricted so that, and if they didn't use it, it would. What I'm asking is do we, like, when we talk about policy, do we have the I know we have the capability to put the money there. Do we have the capability to make them purchase it?
You can only lead the horse to water, you can't make it drink. I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
it's-
no, so I guess my question goes a little further. So we put it in capital and we restrict it.
And it's
but
available.
Now it's sitting and restricted and they can't move it.
But they gotta listen to me every week saying, why haven't you bought that heater yet? So, and I plan on being on them if they don't.
Okay.
Because we can buy a smaller unit that has the tank underneath it, that's not gonna cost.
25,000 BTU.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed. Anything that can be reused, save money, anything like that. I just wanted to make sure that
And I
if
will
that's what
tell
it
you that
is.
Vitti Brothers has put 2 of them in last year, and they're in love with them.
Yeah.
But how much are these?
Yes,
Are
Jennifer?
they, how much are these units?
I thought I saw a price tag of around $5,000 or $6,000. What I need to do is I can call, I gotta find the name of the company again and give them a call and get another estimate.
Okay, because that makes sense, but if they're like
Liquid gold.
15, then no.
And,
So getting that number is important.
yeah,
Good deal.
so, yeah, maybe we'll just wait until we get better information, but I can tell you that Rick Rogers, would love to do this. He just thought it would be better to wait until something died and we could wait forever.
Would you tell her that my
Yeah.
number was 10,000?
Okay, you
That
may
was
be
my-
better.
That was my projection, to put 10,000, if you can't hear me, if you can repeat that.
So Joe, what you're stating, just so I make sure I'm getting on the right page. So instead of 52,000, you'd like to put 42,000 and we divert 10,000 into that capital?
It was on the, I was talking about taking like 2,000 out of heating oil.
So where would
Add
we
it.
gain, where would we
Take-
gain the other 8?
We just put it there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not talking about cutting anything else yet, but I think we can make other cuts, but I think that this is gonna pay for itself
Quickly,
quickly. It's like the dock, you know what I mean? If we could save
within a
money
year
on
and a
it.
half, depending on the
So
winter.
then we'll have to go find other places that we can gain the other 8.
And this is from the heat account?
Well, I mean,
No, I
I've said before, we can cut a little bit out of paving and start funding some of these smaller capital requests that are crazy. I mean, insulation at a fire station, we do the insulation in the fire station, and all of a sudden, our heating costs go whew. So this is stuff that we should have been doing over the years, and it's been, these little small projects have accumulated as budget cuts at the end of a, so my thought was, let's cut a little bit of paving this year and try to get some of these smaller projects that we can make,
Okay, so look, for
wise to do.
for right now, let's just stick with Public Works operating. We can do this one of 2 ways. We can either wait on this one too, or we can vote on it and change it later.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, Mike, please do.
Could I conference in the town council president in case you'd like to ask any questions?
Oh,
She
damn.
can sit in the background.
Yeah,
Well,
she wanted to.
I don't know what she's gonna answer, I mean, at this point,
I
let's
don't
just
think
keep
that's
moving.
not,
My point would be that we'll just vote on this, and like the rest of them, we'll
But
come
even the
back.
previous ones, if you wanted an answer, you could ask.
Well, let's do
It's
this.
up to you.
Why don't we get through the first round, and if we need that for
How
next?
about if we do this? We've
I
got,
can't do that.
we've got some red flags.
Yep,
We're not gonna answer them tonight.
yep.
We got a couple of days to do our research
Right,
and
research.
get our own information on those red flags. I will invite Denise and/or Trish to commune with us for our next meeting.
Knowing our questions in advance, so they have answers.
And we'll have better questions,
Yeah.
and we'll be better able to know what we're hearing, and it'll be better.
so could we say that everyone sends their red flags to you, and then you can make a list? to give to
No.
them in
You
advance.
guys are fully capable of doing some of this research on your own and answering your own
Okay, so
questions.
Better
research
make your-
first, and then
your
if you find the
I know
answer,
what some of them are,
we
and I
might,
can also do it.
okay, so let me just get this process. So we research ourselves, and we will find the answers that we can. If we don't have the answer, we send to you, and you'll tell Trish that that's on the list. Okay, thank you.
I'm going to ask Trish to be with us either in person, because we don't have 10 people here,
Yeah.
or on the phone on the 26th. And hopefully, we've got our ducks in a row on some of these things at that time.
So why don't we table this section like we tabled the previous section, because we can't make
do
an
that.
informed decision. Yeah,
That's-
I'll make that motion that we table this, the Public Works operating expenses pending more information.
Second.
Okay, I withdraw my motion,
You have to give the people
and all those in favor?
Aye.
On the phone,
Aye.
Sherry?
Aye.
Deb?
Aye.
Brendan?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll talk further about Public Works ops next week.
We gotta do the room vote, sorry.
Oh, in the room. Thank you.
Unanimous.
Here, you need this.
I got your back.
Where are we at?
Street lighting.
Street lighting, page 12, account 3380. I think we're all aware that this has been a can of worms. We're not going to fix it. It's everything to do with National Grid and really nothing to do with us. I make a motion for $120,000 for the street lighting account.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Joe?
We were told that we were waiting on an answer from National Grid 2 months
We're
ago.
still waiting.
So we're saying we have no answers on how much it's gonna cost the electric bill.
We still
No.
haven't been properly billed yet.
That's what I mean.
I kept repeating, like during the whole season, I think I kept repeatedly asking this question because this number is so high for me. And the answer that I continued to get back over multiple meetings is they weren't gonna be able to answer that for us during this season.
Well, this should be restricted.
I agree with, well, restricted, but if it's not
Well-
used, where would it go?
It's not.
Back to the
used
general
anything
fund.
else.
Right, but if you restrict it, it can't go back there, right?
Yeah, it would go back to the general fund. It couldn't be put into
Yeah,
something
it
else
could be
like
restricted, but not,
funding the
Roll over.
League of
Roll
City
over,
and Towns.
okay. But is that, so is that a resolution that we have to make?
well, it's still, if it's not used as it is now, it still goes back in the general fund.
Yeah, but it could be transferred.
Typically, it's not.
That's my only point.
I don't think I've ever seen a transfer
I don't know.
yet.
I just don't want to leave a lot of money on the table. I think this one could be reduced probably down to about 80,000 and we'd be fine.
It would be nice if we
it's being
dared.
pushed
Well,
off.
that was about where our bills were before we even went with Prism. So they should be less now, if, according to what the League of City and Towns told us, so.
It's not just, well, it's not so much them, it's the fact that
was
the
a
National
screw-up.
Grid, for some reason, has not billed us properly, so we're having an awful hard time defining, are we saving anything? How much are we saving it, you know?
Well, they don't have the total for this year, so how do you make a calculated decision if you didn't use this year's bills to figure out what next year's are gonna be?
Well, if you're pushing it off, like you were talking about, and getting later and later, then it does make sense maybe to bring it down to 80K. Because in the next budget, we can have it higher if we need it. And
But
probably,
we need it in
what we're
between.
told is it won't be 120K, in the future.
We've never had bills
So
over 80, like 80
Right, so
grand.
why go that high? I
Why
don't.
would we go 120? I mean,
That's it.
we were told our bill was gonna be going down because we went to
Right.
all LED bulbs. How could we be using more energy if we got all LED now?
It's being
Because
pushed
anything,
off.
the
Well,
numbers should
they're
be
also
going down.
charging more on the
And the fact that we're in
service.
turmoil, I don't know. This just,
All right, well, flag it.
I flagged it, and we can come back, but I'm gonna make a number of 80 on that. That would be my proposal.
Well, you can always make a motion for a different number.
When the
we,
time comes, yeah.
when we get, let's go through, and then we'll go back.
Yeah,
So what are we gonna do, table this one?
no, let's
No,
just
if
vote
you wanna
on
vote on
it.
it, vote on it. I'll just vote
Because
against
this
it.
one was hard, because I kept asking that, and Denise was firm that that's what
She
she
has the
thought.
same problem we have.
Yeah, exactly.
She said she has no no more, information on this, so.
So I will pester her again. So, we have a motion, we have a second, we've had discussion. Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Nay?
Deb Janik?
I'm gonna say yay, but let's try to see if Denise has more info.
We're gonna
I'm
find it.
highlighting that one.
Actually, I'm making a note here. Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
in the room, all those in favor? Tom is opposed, right?
I'm opposed.
Joe's opposed, Ruth?
Opposed.
Sherry was also opposed,
So what's the total?
7-4,
7-4 passed?
yes.
Okay, the motion passes 7-4 for $125,000 for street lighting. However, a few of us are going to investigate this a little more. Next up, hydrant services, page 12, account 3420. Oh, we're talking big money here. Make a motion for $1,600 for this account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jennifer Rashley seconds. Discussion? Okay. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay?
Deb Janik?
Yay.
Brendan McNally?
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley?
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Joe?
Joe, hydrant?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Come on, Joe. The hydrants?
I'm
Are
looking
we
at
on the
rubbish-
same page?
Sorry, I'm down here on rubbish collection already. I'm already.
Yeah, you don't go there yet.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here, baby.
Okay, the motion carries unanimously for $1,600 for hydrant services. And now, one of the big bears in the woods.
There we go.
Rubbish recycling collection, page 12. Account number 5500, near and dear to our hearts. I will make a motion. Now, remember, this is for picking up the trash.
Not the center.
It's not the recycling center.
No, so pick up the trash and the recycles
Yeah,
and transport it.
and getting it to the central landfill. I make a motion to approve $1,159,000 for this account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who was that? Deb Oh, okay. And Jocelyn? Any discussion?
If you remember early in the process, we received some information from the Public Works Director with these estimated costs. And we were told we'd be getting updates. I mean, we have pretty much an estimate. I mean, we know like 25 yards a day from the packer goes into there, then what people bring in is what, but yard waste wasn't included in this.
No, it wasn't.
So if we're gonna be doing yard waste pickups, and we don't know how much it's gonna cost to get rid of that yard waste, this number should have been revived by now to give us some sort of estimate. I mean, if we're gonna be taking it to Johnston, we need to know tipping fees at Johnston. We're gonna have 5 truckloads, 10 truckloads of yard waste a month. Well, none of that's been figured out, so it's gonna be hard to budget this year without even having any.
This is gonna come back to something you don't approve of, but the decision has sort of been made, I believe, that we are going to take yard waste to our own facility called the recycling center. And I believe that is why it was left out of this estimate.
That's fine, but you're still gonna have to put it in a dumpster and truck it somewhere.
Maybe.
Well, that's,
Well, at some point.
I mean, that's how recycle centers
Part of
in
this is if they were gonna get
communities
some,
do it.
they were gonna try to have some breathing room to try to find that place. Not necessarily central landfill.
you still have to truck it, and that's the bigger cost. I mean, we,
Unless we truck it ourselves.
well, if we're gonna be doing yard waste pickup, yeah, and we truck it ourselves, then we have Public Works doing the work, and I'm
Like
sure.
they do now.
And if we're not gonna, we're gonna keep the 8 pickups a year. And at one point, the reason we did that, had Public Works doing it, was because we had that trash issue that time. You know, contract prices were going up. I mean, at some point, though, even disposal of that is a cost. If we're gonna be taking it at the collection center, there's gonna be dumpsters that are gonna be filled, they gotta be trucked somewhere. We're not gonna be doing that in-house. And it's, so,
Okay.
these are questions that haven't been answered yet for this budget season. I
Wait.
mean, we may need 2
A
million.
quick question, Joe. On the current landfill, what happens to that yard waste that people dump there?
Currently, we rent a tub grinder. I think it was, close to 20 grand this year for the tub grinder. We grind it up, put it into piles, and then we buy cover material for the landfill, because every day we have to cover the landfill. So to cut down on the amount of cover fill, we mix it with the yard waste to stretch it out for the cover. We've also used it, we did a lot of, some people may not know that we did a lot of pre-grading at the landfill years ago to get ready for the closure. And a lot of that material was used there. But once we closed the landfill, we have no use for it. And, I mean, people say, well, we can grind it up and give it away. It's full of dog waste, poison ivy, bamboo, ragweed, milkweed. I mean,
Bittersweet.
it's the stuff that people don't want in their yards. Why would they want to buy it back from the town full of seeds, particularly bamboo? I mean, so, I mean, there's a lot of issues that
What do
we
what do
need
you
more
say,
my point is, we need more information on this number to find out exactly what it's gonna cost total trash.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Joe.
So I guess my question is the town council's gone over it and come up with this number, and I'm not disputing that
Yeah.
you may be 100% accurate, but how do we calculate a new number from that? Like, if we, we could estimate that it's like 2 million, but how do we make that change if they haven't submitted a change?
We shouldn't vote on this until Thursday.
Okay, so how about if I withdraw my motion? And this sounds like one of those conversations we need to have with the town council.
Are they still
next
at that
week.
number?
Well, yeah, but they need to know in advance that we're gonna be asking, so they can bring a number.
This is your baby.
Right.
Right, I have
You
a,
can do the research on finding out.
Well, I can tell you, I
plan.
pretty much have done a lot of the research on what we can do in this town to not spend as much money as we are, but they really didn't want to hear what I have to say, which kind of ticks me off in a
When
ways,
I
but,
say do your research,
no.
question them,
My point is, the
get
number.
your answers.
My point is, I'm gonna put in, I would recommend a number that I think the town can get through with if we were doing a process that was easier.
Can we do
Can-
that
what's
next
your
week
process?
after we have more information?
right, but I want to know his process, Joe.
No, it's
yeah.
not something we need to get into right now. Just
No, but what I.
vote on it, and then we'll bring it up later.
We're not
So-
gonna vote on it.
No. So my question, Joe, is if you have a number, can you let us know how you calculated that so that we can make an informed decision? Like how you figure to get to whatever number you're at?
Well, I know you can get a price on usually when they're using yard waste, they're moving it with 100-yard dumpsters. We know how much the tub grinder puts through, excuse me, I took the foam off. We know how much that tub grinder grinds roughly, how many yards we produce a year. So if we're moving those yards, if we produce, say, 8,000 yards of yard waste, ground, and then we're gonna pack it into dumpsters, that's if we still ground it, we don't send it whole, which would be, I don't know, there's more ways you can do it. But, I mean, we know how much yard waste have to be moved. What I don't know is what they're gonna do with it. If we're taking it to the landfill, then we have to pay that tipping fee.
If
we're
we're not
taking
gonna, if we're not gonna vote on this tonight, can we just move on for sake of time?
I just
Because
had-
we're gonna
She
go
asked me
back
a
over this.
question.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm not trying to cut you off.
No,
But
no.
But why are we spinning wheels
I
on
just
something
had,
we're not
my
gonna
only
do?
Let's
other
do
question
this.
was if you
I'll
had a number in your
withdraw my
head.
motion,
Let's move on.
and I'll make a motion that we just table it until next week.
Okay.
Okay,
All those on the phone, in favor?
Aye.
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 That's almost musical. Aye, 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 aye.
Aye,
So,
aye,
all
aye.
those in favor? Okay, we'll do that.
Jay, I have a question, though.
Yes.
We have these flagged items. We can't have multiple people asking the same question of like a very busy town councilor or a very busy Rick.
That's why I'm asking Joe to deal with this.
Well, we have others, though. We didn't tell who was going to do what. That's my question. Do you have a list?
Why
Okay.
don't,
No, but I think the answer is,
why don't we bring that to
Wait, I'm
I
administrative
think-
asking Jay.
items?
I'm asking Jay.
What?
Do you have a list? No,
are we not in a discussion, though? 'Cause-
but I'm asking him a question.
But
Let
But
him
hold on,
answer.
what I asked is, we could bring, Ruth, we could bring the counselor on the phone that was told no. Okay, fine. Let's have them here Thursday and stop asking all this. If they're here or available by phone, everyone can ask them every question they want.
Well, I'm trying to save the counselors time. For them to come, that's fine. If
They've
they
already
have the
offered our
time.
chair the time.
That's fine.
Can you back me up on that, Jay? They've offered to be here.
But I just need to know
Okay,
if
okay.
somebody has a
In
list.
deference
Do you
to-
have the list?
Just, I think
it's
this is
not.
for administrative
Okay, so
items.
nobody knows
This
the
is part
list.
of the agenda.
If before we leave tonight, I will ask Joe, what did you flag?
Okay.
What did you flag?
Okay.
I think
Thank
really
you.
it was you and maybe Sherry.
Yeah, okay.
There's not a lot of them.
I just wanted to know. Thank you very
But
much.
Tom has the list, is what we're saying. He's
Okay.
putting it in right here every time we're going. So we're just spinning wheels.
Do you
I'm
have a
not trying to
name?
be rude to any
Do you
of
have a
you.
name, Tom? A name of a person for that?
No, but.
think we need
to Okay. move
this discussion to administrative items.
Right, so
Well,
we'll just
yeah,
add the
Yeah,
name,
let's
Tom,
do that.
at the end. Yeah.
We'll
I
get
have the
there.
name of who brought it up.
Trust me.
Keep going.
Okay, so we
Good idea,
tabled
Ruth.
refuse and recycling, and I've made a note myself right here. And I know who we're gonna deal with that. Joe. Okay, next up is building maintenance, page 13, account 5130.
They don't know.
Did we skip landfill operations?
I'm sorry?
Oh,
We skipped landfill operations?
We're tabling that.
Oh, wait
Oh,
a
the
minute.
whole
No,
thing?
No, we're not.
Did I miss that?
no.
That's
5530.
13.
Joe?
I'm sorry,
Oh,
yeah, I
Joe.
missed,
Sorry,
actually, it's
Jay,
landfill
Joe, Jay.
operations, thank you, Sherry. Page 13, account 5530.
Jay, for one line item on this, on-site waste management treatment compliance, can we pull this one and vote for it separately? Because I have to abstain from that line item. But I do not have to abstain
why
for the
we
entire.
can't.
Yeah, I don't have to abstain from the other ones, but that particular one I have to take an abstention from.
Okay, so we need to then
Take the 30,000 out and vote for it at,
so it's gonna be, yeah, okay, so bear with me a minute while I write this out. We're on 5530. We're gonna take out 7732 for 30,000. That makes the upper number 234, 293.
We need to do a motion for this, Jay?
I don't think so.
I think you should do a
I think we
motion for
should
this.
just to clarify.
Okay, so I will make a motion then that we, when we vote on landfill operations item, or account 5530, we remove account number 7732, which is on-site waste treatment, vote on it separately in deference to Jen Joslin. On the phone, all those in favor, starting with Sherry?
Aye.
Jen? Or Deb, rather?
Aye.
Brendan?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
In the room, all those in favor? Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So I will make a motion for landfill operations account 5530 in the amount of $234,293, which does not include on-site waste treatment. Do I have a second?
Second.
Joe Souza seconds. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, Joe?
In light of recent information that I've obtained, I think that gas motor oil budget should be cut. I think a lot of savings could be seen in that area, so I'm flagging that one.
You want to just change the number now
I want to reduce the number down
to what?
to about $5,000 less.
Well, they were at, okay,
Also
so
diesel.
they were at 9,500, or actual for 18-19 was 11, and then they asked for 97. Would you be willing to go closer to that number, like 9?
Like I said, I think we should be able to see some savings in that area.
Right, but they're asking for 12.4 if we go to 9. It's not as
I
drastic a
can't,
cut
I
as
can't
you-
hear the number that Joe said.
See, it's hard to find.
What, no,
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with the 9,000.
Joe was at 5, I'm at 9 versus the 12.4. And then just asking for compromise there.
I'll agree with you then.
Okay.
I'll agree with you then.
So you want
I
to
mean,
make a
if it'll
motion?
get the vote through, yeah.
Do you want to make a motion,
Yeah, I'll make that in the form of a motion
which is?
to reduce, what was it, 7611?
Tom, I think you're on the.
773.
To what?
You got one on the 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I did. Thanks.
It's down to 9,000.
You want to make that 9,000, removing 3,400. What does that make our number, Tom?
Okay, want to reduce it by 9?
234,293 minus 3,400.
Let me, yeah, let me,
Don't actually change it until we,
I know, that's what I'm trying to think of what to do.
So we
Put a
just
note.
have to
Well,
call out
just-
the new
No
total,
column, Tom.
the
just
30.
throw out a
Here
big
we-
number and
Here we
we
go.
can.
He's
This
going
is
to put
how
a
I'm gonna
note.
do it. Two 9,000, okay. So your number was, 3,400.
234,293.
Yep, 3,400.
And then we gotta take the 30 out of that, so we're
The 30 and where?
see how we came down to
That's the number
2,
234
No,
that I've been
yeah,
throwing
that's-
out.
right, but we were at,
234 is with the 30 out.
Well, take the 30 out just for voting purposes.
Okay, I'll do it this way.
Wait,
The original request, including on-site waste, is 264,293. I took $30,000 out of that because we're splitting it up. That gives us 234,293. Now, Joe has made a motion to further reduce that by 3,400.
okay,
So somebody do the math for me and tell me what the new number is.
234,293 minus $3,400 is 230,893.
Yes.
Anyone agree?
Yeah, I agree, Michael.
I agree.
So is that your motion, Joe, for that number?
And the reason would be there's a little more money to go towards that waste oil heater.
Well, whatever the reason, you're making that motion. Do we have a second
I'll s-
for landfill operations without waste treatment for $230,893? Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, and Jocelyn seconded that. Any further discussion?
Yes.
Yes, Jen?
If we look at the actual gas and motor oil for 21819, it was nearly $12,000. So, I don't know why would we would reduce that
Yeah, just
to
explain,
9.
just explain her, Joe said it's closing in November, that's his,
Oh, okay, I did not hear that. Thank you.
that's what he said, closing in November, right?
Yeah.
So that's his reason for the savings.
I just wanna make sure they can
We're not
hear me
gonna
on
be
the
there,
phone.
she couldn't hear what he said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, Joe, it's really, really hard to hear you, so if you can speak into the mic, please.
After you bid it, you gotta wait a minute.
Okay!
There we go.
Thank you, Joe.
I cleared that one, yeah.
Okay, so have we had our discussion on this?
Yep.
Okay, on the phone for $230,000, 893 for landfill operations without on-site waste treatment. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik, yea or nay?
Yay.
Brendan McNally, yea or nay?
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley, yea or nay?
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Joe, make a note of this.
What's that?
Never happen again.
It'll never happen again. We agree with you unanimously.
On a reduction.
Way to go, Joe.
Whippy.
Joe, it's something. Give me a break over here, all right? You and I are typically not on the same page, but we compromise that very well.
Now we will move on to
done
on-site
compromising
waste treatment
before.
compliance.
All right, we gotta do waste management. I'm gonna step out.
Now, this number is going to change. So now, the new landfill operations, account number 5530, will be the 230,893, which we just approved, plus another 30,000 for landfill or for waste treatment if we choose to accept that $30,000 figure for that account. Do I have a second for that?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Keep in mind, we're on waste treatment compliance program, account number 7732, which is under landfill operations, in the amount of $30,000. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
This is the testing, correct? The well test.
No. This is for septic.
On-site waste treatment at the landfill.
Don't ask me why it's under landfill, but that's where it is. Remember they came here and they told us the whole spiel
Right,
about monitoring?
they send letters, they
septic
send letters.
tanks
Right.
and-
This is where they put it.
They run,
Oh, this is for,
they run
Septic tank.
the sewer system in the north end of town.
glad I asked, now I know what.
Weird.
Okay.
Did I wake up a sleeping giant?
No, I'm glad I asked, though. I'm thinking
No,
this was the
sleeping.
test wells, but, okay.
And I questioned this before. At some point, this should get out of here and be put in a separate, its own separate account, but it's not yet.
Well, we're voting on it.
Yeah, it's
We
a
can make
separate board.
resolution to do it.
What is that, Brendan?
It's a separate board, so I had wondered where this one was buried.
Yeah, we tried to find that. Brendan was saying he wondered the same thing, where it was buried, but now.
Yeah, I think we've all wondered that. I've always wondered, what's it doing there?
So we had a motion and a second.
Yes.
Yes, and so I'm going to, and we've had discussion, so, all those, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay on waste treatment compliance for $30,000?
Yay.
Yay. Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
in the room, all those in favor? Joe?
I'm opposed.
Okay.
Motion zero.
Ruth, were you? Let's
Um,
do that
I was
again. In the
positive.
room, all in favor? Oh, you can't.
Abstain,
All right. Tom? Okay. Bear with me a minute.
9, 1, 9,
And one abstention,
One and
which
one.
is,
9, 1, and 1.
I got it. Okay, now, new number for landfill operations, 5530. Make a motion for $264,000, 290, or $264,293.
No. No, because we changed,
We deleted 3,500, right?
Yeah, we changed.
we changed the gas.
I already, oh, I'm sorry. 206, I got it, 260,893. Is
That's the number.
that correct?
Yep, that's
Can
good.
you read that
Yeah,
one more
can
time?
you say it
Lisa?
one more time, Jay?
260,893.
Thank you.
Can you vote on that number?
I got it?
We did
Yep.
it separately, so I-
Okay, do I have a second?
Oh, wait, do I have to
Now
pull
we're
from
voting them
this?
together.
How do I do this
You
now?
gotta abstain.
I gotta abstain?
I would.
Yeah,
I would
Okay,
just to be
that's fine.
sure.
just to be sure.
I'll second.
All- Okay, we have a second. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, on the phone, Sherry Aker,
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jen Rashley,
Yay.
okay. Wakey, wakey. In the room, all those in favor? Joe?
Opposed?
You're opposed because of the other one.
And I
And Jen abstained again. Okay, so I'm double. I hope I can remember what I'm doing here.
Just take notes.
Okay, where are we at?
5130, building maintenance.
Very good. We are on building
Wait, so-
maintenance, page 13.
so was that-
Huh?
Was that 991?
9-1.
911.
Yep.
What am I missing?
He was asking what the vote was. It was 9 approved,
Oh, yeah,
Joe, no,
Nine
me
to-
abstain.
Yeah, Joe was opposed twice, Jen recused herself twice, and the rest of us all voted yes twice.
Great.
Okay, building maintenance, page 13, account number 5130. I will make a motion for $125,115 for this account. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
I will let Joe have it. Okay, any discussion?
Only that I wish we could have put more into the seasonal person. Maybe got somebody who could actually go up and fix some of the problems we had in town, like the cracks and things in the foundations.
You looking for the job?
Well, I mean, only that what I've seen in the past is the guy basically just goes and helps pick up trash at the beaches and
That's pretty
stuff.
much what they've been doing.
I mean, we don't get any repairs out of them, and they never expected to because they were hired as janitors, but it's-
Any further discussion? Hey, on the phone, Sherry Aker,
Well,
yea or
wait, I
nay?
I had a quick question.
Oh.
I mean, it shouldn't say maintenance then, if they can't do any maintenance then.
What are you saying, Rick?
well,
It should be maintenance. If this person was hired for maintenance in his job description, then he should be doing some, that's all. We can, offline, that's fine. Not just trash pickup.
Oh, okay.
and janitors.
Well, let's do this again. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Unanimous? In the amount of $125,115 for Building Maintenance Division. Okay. Next up,
Two and a part-time.
Parks Maintenance and Mowing, page 13, account number 8840. Make a motion for $57,310. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Brendan McNally seconds it. Do we have discussion? I got an idea we're not going to use the porta-johns too much for a while.
Or nothing but part of
But why do we have that, why did we have that as new? Because we had to have had those before. Were they under something else?
Yes, they were under the,
Yeah, they did move them.
yeah, they were under the
Were they
rec
under
department.
rec?
They were under the rec department.
They were under rec, okay.
Just got moved. Remember, we had a lot of discussion about making sure they didn't sit there and get billed for every month when they weren't being used and.
Oh, I remember the whole discussion, but I was just trying to think of where they came from.
Any further discussion, Joe?
Just the mowing service, kind of like the stenographer at the zoning board, it's like we get such a super deal from them people. And it's because he lives in town and loves the town, so,
He lives right across the street.
yeah, and he's just a great guy.
Are you saying you support him?
I'm gonna vote for the budget, yes.
Attaboy.
Ooh,
And I love a good deal.
hold on, let me put my shocked face on.
You got a job on the side with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything past 8 o'clock, we get
So
lunch.
we have a motion, a second, we've had discussion. Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay?
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Unanimous for $57,310 for parks maintenance and mowing. By the way, that also includes rehabilitating the fields after people do donuts with their cars.
Did that really happen this year?
So Tom, when you redo this column, it'll be the new total, right, under the off, for the public works, we have to vote on that.
On what?
The very bottom, the grand total,
Okay, cool.
because it's different.
On
No,
town
I
found
don't
too?
think we did that before.
No, just.
I don't think we've done that before, and do you really need to?
Nope, just ask a question.
The math doesn't work, we'll be told.
Okay, next up is the senior centers, Senior Citizen Center, My New Home, page 14.
Are they open?
I'm officially old tomorrow.
I've seen it.
I know, but you can't go there because they're closed.
Crap, what am I gonna do?
You're gonna have to wait like 8 to 12 weeks before you can go
You
join.
want me to bring you lunch tomorrow, Jay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Hey.
I'm being ripped off. I can't use one of these services.
I think you should keep doing the Excel course that you've been doing.
All right, page 14, account 6110. Let me get to it. I make a motion for $121,691 for the senior citizen services. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Sherry?
We have a second. Do we have any discussion?
A minor question on the travel expenses. Well, with gas going down and we can't travel with coronavirus around.
This is next year.
But it's July, so
Nice
let's
try.
pray, Ruth, that we're not still in the same
Well, who
spot in
knows,
July.
but, you know, we gotta have faith that this is gonna go away eventually.
That's fine.
Let's pray it's not still here in July.
Okay,
One question I had, the bus service was a big change in terms of what the council, does anyone have any background on why it's like $3,500 less than what the request was?
Because we have one.
Is it because we have a new bus?
probably because it's a new bus.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wait a minute, part of that might be also pays the driver, and didn't they just get a new driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it.
And are they paying him less? I'm not sure.
Possibly.
Be one of the things I can ask Janet, because she's coming to work every day to make sure the Meals on Wheels and that kind of stuff is running efficiently.
Why don't we vote on it and we can get that answer?
Yeah, we could do that.
Is that
I
good
mean,
with you, Brennan?
the actuals were 17,295. So,
No,
I
that's,
mean, it's pretty close.
17,295 was the assistant director, Sherry. The
Oh,
actual
sorry,
for,
bus.
that's okay. The
I
actual
see.
for the bus was
Well,
15,
yeah, so, oh, yeah.
15,313.
Okay, now I see it was more.
So it's down by like $2,300 from,
It's peanuts.
Right, Brendan, we can vote on that, and Jay can get an answer
Yep.
for Thursday. Are you comfortable?
That's fine.
okay, so I gotta make myself a little flag here.
Definitely gonna raise it, so.
And I will do my best to get an answer. All right, so we have a motion and a second, and we've had discussion, so on the phone, Sherry Aker,
Yay?
Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
in the room, all in favor? That's unanimous for the old folks, in the amount of $121,691. believe this. We're much further along than I thought we were gonna be.
We're doing good, keep going.
Going.
We're not done, but
Don't,
I'm
don't,
on a roll
don't
and I
talk
haven't been
about it.
shot yet.
Just go.
Next up, Economic Development Commission, page number 14, account number 6200. Make a motion for $500. Do we have a second?
Second.
when you-
Discussion,
Janet.
please.
Give him 3 seconds.
I'm sorry, Jennifer?
Discussion, please.
We're getting there in a second. We're there now. Discussion.
All right, I've spoken to Renee DeJesus, who's one of the main people representing economic development, and I know this year that they're trying to put together a pamphlet to assist businesses and create a complete list of businesses in the town of Tiverton, and to assist people that aren't on it to get on it so that they're more easily found and used. And I think this would be a really good tool. So I would like to move to vote on this until Thursday so we could get Renee in to just speak to the issue.
No, she can't.
She can't appear with us. We can try and get her on the phone.
We could get her on the phone.
Okay, can you make the arrangements for her to do that?
Certainly.
When would you like her to be here?
I'll try to get her to be here for Thursday.
Okay, and just make sure she knows what our times are and all that, and that'll be great.
Okay, will do.
Okay, so I will,
What's the lady's name?
So, can you repeat the lady's name, Jen?
Her name is Renee DeJesus Jones.
so I withdraw my motion for this, for $500 for the Economic Development Commission.
I withdraw my second.
Okay, we don't need to vote on that. We'll
Because
just
I
table
wanna
that until Thursday.
Yeah.
Next is, oh, and I need to make myself a flag. Yeah. Jen. Me. Okay. Next up, boards and commissions, page 14, account number 6210. I want to make a motion that we amend one item in this, specifically us, the Budget Committee. They have us down for $800. We all know why. I asked for more money this year. I'm sure in my absence next year that you will want to do that again.
I'm just gonna remind you about the write-in.
Huh?
Write-in.
I have to accept. How do you feel about moving that up to 1,600?
Is that enough?
Well, it's about $300 a meeting, $350.
What did we use this year, Jay?
Huh?
How much was it this year? Was it 1,600?
Didn't I bump that up by,
I thought you asked for 1,500.
I think
15 or 16, I forget which.
For the clerk,
I I had a copy of the letter and I
for the
got
secretary job.
rid of it.
1,600 for the secretary job.
That and
You
yeah.
also bumped it up, Jay. We were already a number of meetings in, at least a few
Yeah.
meetings in.
'Cause
Yeah.
we didn't have the first 4 meetings or so.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
We
So
did.
I think that number should be like 2,000.
No, I think the 16 that Jay's saying, that would cover enough, right?
But what
It
if
covers
we
the secretary and it covers Andrew.
I don't think that's enough.
Well, we can do the math. Let's go back and how many
Well,
meetings
the
did we have?
secretary's 300 by herself.
Correct. For how many meetings? So 300 times how many meetings?
Why don't we just round it off to 2,000, because it's
do
such a
that.
small
I mean,
number?
You're gonna have 8 or 10
I mean,
meetings.
if there's
plus-
400 bet
Joe, I'm
left at the end of the year,
Joe,
we can
I'm
splurge.
floored. I'm floored.
Well, Joe can be secretary. He doesn't want to do that.
No, he's moving it to 2.
No, I don't,
So,
2,000.
I
I don't want to be
He said
secretary.
3,000.
Joe, do you?
2.
2,000 is good. On the phone, how do you guys feel about $2,000?
Quite a bit up.
I
Fine.
think, yeah, I think I like 2,000. I'd like to cover it
Yep.
between the secretary and Andrew videotaping.
Maybe a little help with posting.
Yeah, I'm
hosting the
fine with
meetings.
Point well taken, because I've screwed it up a few times.
You have done a fabulous job, Joe.
All right, so I will amend my motion then to increase the budget committee
Hosting the.
to $2,000, which is a $1,200 increase over the town council's request.
$2,000 as well.
Do I have a second for that?
I second.
Okay.
Okay, on the phone, all those in favor? Sherry?
Yay?
Deb?
Yay?
Brendan?
Yay.
And Jennifer?
Yay.
All right, so then the new number for boards and commissions, make a motion that we approve,
We have to go first before you do that.
oh, Jesus.
That's okay. In the room. No, just in the room.
In the room, all those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. So
Does
we
that
increase
include our
that by
salaries?
$1,200,
No.
which changes the new
This is a-
total to
No thing.
$12,200
We don't need to
For-
vote on that.
for boards and commissions. I need to get a second. Okay, do I have a second on that?
Second?
Okay, we have a second. Do we have any further discussion?
Just that, we're gonna see some, I mean, looking at the reductions like to Fort Barton and stuff, I mean, it doesn't sound like a big reduction, but,
It is
you know, they
there.
didn't get a whole lot to begin with.
Oh, okay.
Thank God we got the volunteers we do, that's all I can say, because they're gonna really stretch them thin this year.
Well, like I said, the town council did a lot of our heavy lifting for us.
Yeah, they did.
Any further discussion? Okay, on the phone, or Sherry Aker, yay or nay?
Yay?
Deb Janet?
Yay?
Brendan McNally?
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley?
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Carries unanimously in the amount of $12,200 for boards and commissions, which includes a $1,200 increase for the budget committee. The end is in sight. Not quite. Next up, civic appropriations, page 15, item 6, account 6250. Make a motion for $13,050 for this account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Joe Souza seconds. Discussion.
Only that, I think these donations to these civic organizations come back to the town tenfold. So, I know in the past we had discussed it, but honestly, I believe it's a good value.
I second that.
Right, I agree, but I believe there is another side to this, is that individuals can also make their own decisions about who to donate to. If it's town-related, I can understand, but, you know, not everything is, wildlife rehabilitators might be something that an individual would want to decide on, you know, that type of thing. I want to mention also that you can respond, but let me just finish. East Bay Community Action is it's a very, very, very wealthy organization, and their top employees are paid lots of money. I want to say, like, I don't know, 100,000 plus, I don't know, something very high for that. And so even if we didn't fund this, we would still get the same services in Tiverton, just so you know. But it is I agree with you all that it's a nice thing to do, you know, and that's what I think Joe's saying too, and so forth. But I just want to let you know that that's the fact. I work with another group that works with them, So I know a little bit about that group, so.
I feel like I'm hearing that TTA narrative right there.
No, this was actually singing out.
I've heard that before.
No, this is singing out
Yeah.
singing out against
You sure
hunger, a
have.
different
Let's not
group.
get into
Let's move.
personalities here.
Let's
Yeah.
move. I know, but.
Nope. Mike, let's not go.
No, but I told you,
quite
it's a
that
different group, Mike, so just
We
be
have any
aware.
further
Okay.
I will make the comment
different group.
myself. I've made this every year. It's relative to visiting nurses.
Singing out against hunger.
Now, I understand that when visiting nurses visit a home, they're probably going to collect money from either Social Security or private insurance or whatever it is. And that's a wonderful thing. In my opinion, and I live in an area where I have a lot of elderly people living near me and I see them, I think that the visiting nurses takes a lot of weight off of the fire department. A lot of these people that call
That's
the
interesting.
fire department, quite frankly, are looking for company. They want somebody there. And the fire department responds, and they may or they may not collect. They may not have to do a thing, other than give whoever called a warm, fuzzy feeling. The visiting nurses fill that role, and they fill it very well. So I would like to see them have more. I'm not going to fight for it this year, but that's one. I really don't know what East Bay Community Action does. I've never tried to find out.
They do a
They
lot of
give
social services.
meals up on Crandall Road, there's an office,
They
I
have-
think. They give
yeah,
meals to
They run the
people.
food
Like I say,
pantry, they
What I
they
know
help people
about
with
East
social
Bay
services.
Community
Yeah.
Action, you could fit in a thimble, so I'm not qualified to talk
Yeah.
about them at
It's a
all.
similar type of thing for a different demographic. So they help with the food pantry, they help people get contacted with social services, they help people get on assistance that may need it, may temporary assistance or longer term. But I'll agree with you, as a daughter of a nurse, and my mother, when she was alive, worked for visiting nurses, the service that they provide to people is unbelievable.
They do us a lot of good, like Joe said. We get more value from these things than we give them.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add in, and part of the reason I'm not there tonight is because I do work in a hospital, as you all know, but the visiting nurses are the visitors into the people's homes, and it's what keeps people from being re-hospitalized, which is it's a huge thing now, especially where we're trying to keep people out of the hospital. They will see patients regardless of their funding source. Whatever their insurance doesn't cover, this is what they're pulling this money for. It goes into programs, it goes into materials to help with certain programs that are either underfunded or not funded at all. So I agree with you, Jay, and I'd love to give them more, but I understand the economy of this year. But they really are a very valuable resource that provides more for our community than what we're funding.
Okay, do we have any more discussion on this?
Just a very short
Is
thing.
there an amendment on the table?
No.
Is there what,
No.
Jen?
Is there an amendment on the
No, there
table?
are no amendments on the table at this time.
But I have a
I would like
comment.
to amend this motion and add back in $500 to the Newport County Women's Resource Center. Women are particularly under distress and brutalized during times of distress, and we're going to see that with the epidemic.
Okay,
I'd like to tag into it, even though it's called the Newport County Women's Resource Center, they do provide services to other at-risk demographics as well.
so Jennifer, you're making a motion to amend and add to the Newport County Women's Resources $500, am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion to amend Newport County Women's Resources and add $500, which changes our total to $13,550. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion?
It's kinda like we're picking and choosing losers here, or winners.
What?
What do
I
you
know it's
mean?
only $500, but I mean, I don't know, what about the rest of them? Only
I
Women's
agree with
Resource
Joe.
Centers. So,
The only thing I can say is I feel like the things that they provide are similar to what we have funded. It's similar to visiting nurses, it's similar to, East Bay Community Action. They provide those kind of civic services. Not that everything isn't, I would love to fund everything, but if we're going in that line, it kind of seems like fair to add to that one as well.
So what are you saying?
I was just, Joe said, like, we're kind of picking and choosing, and I said, I
Oh.
agree with him on one end, but that one kind of falls into ones that we are funding. So we're funding visiting nurse because they provide a service to our residents. We're providing East Bay Community Action because they provide some safety, services to food and things to our residents. Newport County Women's Resource Center provides similar assistance. So I think, I'd like to fund everything, but if we're gonna fund the other two, I don't think it's a reach, and it's $500.
Okay, and I will
And
make,
a couple years ago, it was considerably more. It was a couple thousand.
Yeah.
I will make one comment that struck me when Trish Hilton said it. Some of these things that aren't being funded was because in the past, they haven't picked up the check. I find that strange, but she said it and I can't disbelieve it.
that's true.
I'm trying to remember which one,
Yeah,
there was
and-
one that came up, that they didn't come to talk to us,
Yeah.
and it was like 2 years back.
They're not even picking
Well,
up
no,
checks.
actually, she did say that some that we had actually funded, they did not come and get the money.
Did anyone second Jennifer Rashli's motion
I
yet?
did.
Jen,
Yeah,
you
Jen
did?
did, so,
Okay.
here we
Jen
go.
just funded.
So we have a new motion for adding the $500 for the East Bay Community Action, which changes our grand total to $13,550. We had a motion, we have a second. So on the phone, Sherry Aker.
Nay?
Ooh,
Nay.
ouch.
Deb Janik.
Can I just clarify what you just said? Adding 500 to East Bay Community Action or
Women's
Newport,
Resources.
Newport County Women's Resources?
I thought that's what I said.
Okay, I'm having trouble hearing.
Okay.
So adding $500 to Newport County Women's Resources is what we're voting on?
We're voting on the whole total, Deb, so.
I know, but that's the thing that's changed.
That's a
Jen.
We have to vote on the amendment first.
Okay,
Oh,
so let's
okay.
do that. We have an amendment to my motion, which gives $500 to Newport County Women's Resources. We had a second. We've had discussion. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Nay?
Nay. Jen Janet, or Deb Janik, rather.
Yay.
Jen, Jen.
I'm
Got
sorry.
enough Jens.
I did that. I'm just getting fuzzy. So are you yea or nay?
Yay.
I'm J too. Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashli.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor of this amendment? Tom? Ruth? No. Okay, we have one abstention or one nay, Ruth Hallenbeck,
Sherry was a no.
So is it,
and, I'm sorry, two nays, Sherry Aker and Ruth Hallenbeck. Okay, hang on a minute, let me.
It's just my belief in the individual doing the charitable stuff,
Okay, so now we have for civic appropriations.
And then you can take it off on your
Account
taxes.
number 6250.
You have to vote on the total first?
Huh?
The new total?
That's where I'm going.
Sorry.
Which gives us a new grand total of $13,550. Do I have a second for the new total?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, on the phone, Sherry Aker, Yay or nay?
On the total bottom line, yay,
13,550?
yay.
Okay, you're yay. Deb Janet,
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
writing quick, okay. In the room, all those in favor?
Unanimous?
It's unanimous. The new total for civic appropriations is 13,550.
Let's keep going.
Next up, library services, page 15, account number 6630. I make a motion that we approve $587,000 for this account. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second from Ruth Hellenbeck. Any discussion?
Like to amend that number.
I just have a question.
Oh, hang on, let's do the phone call. Sherry?
I just had a question. Does this include the repairs that Joe had, talked about? This amount, repairs to the library, or is that in capital?
There's a separate line item for capital library for 15,000, I believe.
Okay,
But also keep in mind, historically, things that have cropped up that were not anticipated have to come out of this.
okay,
And it's happened last year, just recently, it happened to the tune of
$26,000?
$28,000, something like that.
And it's pretty level from where it was last year. I know that the reductions that were made, like they can stay open, I think, on Tuesday, but they won't be open on Sunday, which, you know what, when we can get there, we'll get there.
We'll see how it works out, how they work it out.
And I just want to say about the library that it's,
Okay, Joe,
oh, go ahead, Joe. You're
I
first.
have an amendment.
what's your amendment?
My amendment would reduce the total to $565,000.
I'll second that.
Can you say that number again?
Just so people on the phone can see what I'm holding up the pieces of the library that I picked up off of the ground.
Let me,
The library has a trust. They have a trust fund. In my opinion, they can start to use that trust fund if they want to give pay raises to their employees of 3% every single year. If they want to run new programs, then they should do it using their trust and go out and raise the money like the libraries used to be. You know, we talk about a free library, but here we are asking the taxpayers for quite a bit of money. So, you know, we're going to take a big hit this year. I've said it again and again. We all know we're going to get less in state aid. We could lose the car tax money. We could lose the casino money. We could have state education money come in at level funded at last year. If you watch what's going on upstate, you know that we got some big problems budgetarily upstate next year.
Excuse me, can you repeat, was this an amendment, and how much was the amendment for?
Jennifer and everybody, Joe has made an amendment to reduce library services account to $565,000, which is the actual for 2018, 2019.
But the actual for 2019, 2020 that we have to refer to is 599,550. And we can't do less than to level fund.
Where do you?
Jennifer, you're looking at the grand total, which includes grants and health and the library together.
Jay, can I finish? I had the floor.
Right above that number is 500.
Oh.
You got it?
80.
Joe wasn't even
Okay,
done
okay, so,
talking.
so I'm sorry, tell me again what Joe said?
$565,000 for the library for fiscal '21. That's his amendment.
But, okay, then 2019-2020 was 585. You can't go
Right.
lower than that.
You can't go lower than that.
Can I
Maintenance
finish?
of effort.
We have the MOE.
Can I finish speaking, please? Okay? To say that we can't go lower is not true. Okay? We can always ask for a waiver. Just like with the school department, we could ask for a waiver. And as I said, we face some tough economic times. We can't afford to expand programs, continue to throw more money and more money at these things when we're going to see reduced revenue. Okay? Our budget that we pass could actually come up short. I mean, you know, the bottom line is everybody has to take a hit in this budget. And I think that we've been really generous with the library, because if you look back at the bond payments, you see we're not only paying money to the library every year in a grant, we're paying for the building, the bond payment. So the people of this town have been very generous. So I have no problem level funding them this year.
And because it's MOE, a maintenance of effort, we should be even more careful. And they really, as Joe held up, I don't know if you heard, Jen Rashley, that he held up some pieces from the side of the building which they did not address in a timely way. And
Oh, we heard all that bullshit.
that's an issue.
Yeah.
It's not bullshit. They're responsible to see those things. It's their building. They are there every day, so.
We can vote.
Let's just vote.
Let's just
Okay,
vote
so
on the
listen,
amendment.
we have a motion for an amendment to $565,000.
And a
Based on that,
second.
do we have a
No,
second?
Yeah, Ruth
but
seconded.
it can't go lower than 585. That's
We
what was
haven't done it
approved.
yet, Jennifer.
We haven't done it
We
yet.
haven't done it. We have to go to a vote on the amendment. So Joe voted it, or Joe
Joe
moved
proposed
it.
it, he needs a second.
Ruth seconded.
Ruth seconded it. Let's
Seconded.
vote.
So, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yay or nay on the amendment?
Yay on the amendment.
Sherry Aker is yay on the amendment. Deb Janik,
Nay.
nay. Brendan McNally,
Nay.
Jennifer Rashley,
It's gonna throw it into litigation,
Just yes or
and
no?
talk more, so nay.
okay, nay. Okay, in the room, on the amendment of $565,000 for the library, all those in favor? Tom Haley, Joe Souza, Ruth Hollenbeck. All those opposed? Okay, Tom Hamilton,
Tom, are you on
Jay
negative on that?
Edwards, Mike Dakotas, Jennifer Johnson. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nays, 4 yays. The nays have it. The motion is defeated. Okay, I will
Go
make,
back to the original. We go back to the original.
I'm sorry?
We go back to the
That's where I'm heading. I'm going to reintroduce then my motion for $587,000 for library services, account 6630. Do I have a second?
second.
Okay. Jen Joslin has seconded it. Any further discussion?
I think it's really important to consider that the library is bringing us programs that is helping people reduce their expenses. One of the main ones that we saw is the tax prep that AARP has brought to our town, saving people, individuals using it, an average of $250 a piece, which is a whole lot less than they would even be paying toward their support of the library individually. I think the 287 is underfunding, and we should do what the department had requested at 602.
Would you like to make an amendment?
I would like to make an amendment to put it back to strike a compromise and put it to 595,000.
Okay. Jen Rashley has made a motion to amend the library request to $595,000. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Brendan McNally has seconded it. Do we have discussion?
Just wondering what we're gonna cut to cover that, or are we just gonna run up like 5% increase this year? Are there any cuts recommended?
We cut the gas, Joe.
What?
We didn't catch that, Jen?
I said it's going to have to come out of the school because the library is an institution that helps everybody. So it's going to have to come from there.
I'm sorry, I'm opposed to taking it from the schools.
It's gotta come from somewhere.
Well, they benefit from it a lot.
I know, but they're already running a $2 million deficit, so I'm not opposed.
That's
Okay.
that's just on paper.
Let's put this to a vote. We're going to vote on amending the library request to $595,000. Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Nay?
Nay. Deb Janik?
Nay.
Nay. Brendan McNally?
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley, I know where that one is.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? All opposed? Okay. The motion did not carry. Let me do my sheet. Okay, I'm going to do this one more time, and if we don't resolve it this time, we're going to table it until Thursday.
Okay.
I will reintroduce my original motion for library funding for $587,000. Do I have a second? We have a second. Any further discussion? On the phone?
I just have a quick discussion point. As quick.
I'm all set.
I have a discussion item.
No.
It just have to think about libraries. There really should be more volunteer work done. I know they have some, I think, but and fundraising, like I think somebody was mentioning, for a library, that's typical. And I think that volunteers, there's probably a lot of people that would like to volunteer at the library as an employee there, someone who works there. So I just want to mention that that's a possibility. That's all I'm mentioning. Volunteers.
So,
What?
for the record, lots of people volunteer and they're constantly doing fundraising.
Who is that, Jennifer? Who's doing the fundraising? Is that the,
We said last week.
They
we're
have-
just gonna vote
they
on
have
it.
a library.
right?
They have a library
Friends, that's
foundation,
right.
and they also have an organization called the Friends of Tiverton Library
Right,
that
I'll need-
raises all the funds for
Okay, I know,
the
Jennifer, I
summer
got that.
program.
Thank you.
And
I do,
the-
I'm going to go look, don't interrupt me, though. I just want to go and look at the number of volunteers and how much that
How does
happens.
that affect what we're voting on?
It
You're just rambling at
affects,
this point.
no, I'm not.
You are
Okay,
rambling.
And I want to
Listen,
mention, one
listen,
other
Joe made a
item,
good point last week. We were
One other-
gonna vote on these.
one other item, I just want to mention on the income tax help, that there are lots of online programs that help people a lot, and they are better and better every year. So just don't overestimate
Not
that.
everybody can do them, and I'm one of them.
Well, there's people who,
Okay,
lots of people
so
do.
look,
The income tax program doesn't cost us a penny anyway. AARP comes in and helps people, and our citizens get the help for free, and they save what
I
it would
think
cost them
they do that at
to
the
get it done professionally.
They do
Can I
that at
ask
the
you to
senior
move it?
center also. They do, you can go to the senior
No,
center.
not move it.
we're-
Can I
You
ask you to
vote.
call
You
the
can.
vote, please?
we're just arguing in circles here, so.
No, it's very important
There's
to
a
note, Jay,
motion
I'm
on
not
the
finished.
table.
I'm not finished.
No, he's gonna call the vote.
It's very important to note that the senior center has the tax help also. That's irrelevant information. Thank you.
The motion on the table.
People were interrupting me
It
too
has been
much.
seconded. We have had discussion. So, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay for library funding for $587,000?
Nay.
Nay. Deb Janik,
Yay.
Brennan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? Okay, let me write that down. Myself, Mike Dakotas, Tom Hamilton. Ruth? No, I got you. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yays. Motion carries for $587,000 for library services. We're getting there, guys. Next up, beaches. Page 15, account number 8790. I'll make a motion for $31,309 for that account.
I'll second that.
We have a second from Ruth Hollenbach. Any discussion? I will mention this, it's liable to be the only place in town earning revenue this summer.
6 feet apart.
If we're lucky.
Any further discussion? Okay. We'll take a vote. On the phone, Sherry Aker, yay or nay?
Yay.
You sounded tired, Sherry.
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
in the room, all those in favor? Okay, that's unanimous in the amount of $31,309 for beaches. Next up, recreation programs and events, page 15, account number 8830, and I know ahead of time that Mike wants to make an amendment to this.
I spoke to Stu Gilfillan, the chair of the recreation program. He had previously in your supplies, which is the last item, 7470, and our town administrator had cut that out of the budget, and before the town council was supposed to meet, they weren't aware that this money was needed by the rec committee. So there was some confusion now that our town administrator is gone, but I spoke to Stu, and he said that this is what that money goes to. This resolution I'm going to make is asking for $1,500 to fund that line item. The $1,500 is $60 for Pecasset Playground and Booger Marsh water fees to the district, $40 to winterize supplies for the restrooms, $540 Fogland Beach testing times 2, $360 for Grinnell's beach testing times 2, and $480 to pump Grinnell's septic, which is a total of $1,480. And I was asking for $1,500 to fund that, and that's just coming from the rec chair. Thank you.
We'll take that as a motion, we'll take that as a second.
That was a motion, wasn't it?
Yes.
So the new number then for recreation programs and events would be $28,660. Is that correct, Tom?
Yes, 28,660.
Okay, and I had a talk with Stu also, and I questioned if he had enough, if he had figured in enough money to pump the septic tanks at Grinnell.
Well,
And he said that they're required to close them during events. They're only open when the beach is open. Yeah.
yeah, they have, whatever, if they have an event at the beach, they have to get porta johns.
Yeah,
And that's because it's because there's only a holding tank there now.
yeah, how big is it? I don't know.
It's like,
Do you know?
it can't be more than like, what,
Couple thousand.
5,000 or something? I mean, big ones attend, I don't think we put a big one in.
Okay,
It's-
so anyway, he assures me that they have enough historical data, that's a good number, so. All right, so we have a motion for 28,660 for recreation programs and events. We have a second. On the phone,
Do we
Sherry.
need to vote on the 1,500 first, then the total?
Do we need to do that?
Well, we've done it with the other ones. We've done
Yeah.
that with the other ones, we did this
Yeah, we
too.
gotta vote the amendment, and then,
Okay, so we'll vote.
You gotta vote the amendment first.
We'll vote the amendment. So we have a motion for $1,500 for supplies. We have a second for that. We've had discussion. Sherry, yea or nay?
There was no discussion.
I didn't get to
There's
say
no
anything.
discussion.
I'm gonna vote yay for the 1,500, but I don't like the idea of septic being, pumping being lumped in with supplies. And that's the only comment I'll make.
well, it's gotta be in the budget somewhere.
It's got to be somewhere.
We'd have to just create another.
No, I get it. I get that's gotta be somewhere. I just think that's something that, clearly needs to be done, so.
But
I
the,
just don't think that's a good line item for it to be under.
Okay, Debbie,
But yes, yay, yay.
no, I had a discussion item.
so who, Sherry, you're nay?
No, yay.
She had discussion, I need a quick discussion.
What's
The,
the
the,
discussion?
the water testing is done by the DEM, and we don't need to be doing that double
Where are you
duty.
getting water testing?
They mentioned, somebody
No, we do it too.
We do
mentioned
as
it.
well.
Michael
our own,
mentioned it.
But we do our own.
We've never had Fogland closed, like, ever.
But we,
So-
I'm giving you the information from.
Are you talking about the two $60 numbers?
I just think it's going up, and I'm trying to watch everything, that's all I'm
Hang on a
saying.
minute.
It's like,
Mike.
Okay.
water testing, when you don't need
What
it,
were
the
the numbers
DEM,
you
Yep,
gave?
I'll give you again.
DEM does it.
$540
For,
for 2 tests at Fogland Beach, and 3,
I thought you said 60 each.
okay. If
No,
we're
no,
tasked
I'll-
with
I'll-
doing it, we have to do it.
I'll read you the whole thing. $60 for the Pecasset Playground and Booger Marsh water fees to the district. $40 to winterize supplies for the restrooms. $540 for Fogland Beach testing. That's for 2 tests during the summer. $360 for 2 tests at Grinnell's, and $480 to pump the Grinnell's septic, for a total of $1,480.
Sorry, how much for the water testing at Grinnell again? 60?
$360 for 2 tests. And Fogland was $540 for 2 tests.
I don't really understand why there's a difference in the amounts, but this is just like, you're adding little bits in here and there when the DM already does the water testing regularly. So, I don't know. This just doesn't make sense. I
Well,
don't know what they're gonna use the money for.
I think it's a liability issue. Believe it or not,
The DEM reports it to us.
if somebody went to the beach and got sick at the beach, the big pocket, they're gonna, I mean, it's like, remember
I don't agree.
the cow that had, supposedly had mad cow? Because our building inspector didn't keep them away, we end up paying, I mean, it's it's a lot of legal stuff that we end up,
Okay.
cover our butt.
We can, okay, so let's get back to this. We started to vote on this amendment, so let's continue. So for $1,500 addition to the supplies line item for recreation programs and events, Sherry voted yay, Deb Janik,
Voted yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley,
Yay.
in the room, all those in favor? Joe? Okay, it's unanimous.
Thank you.
$1,500 for supplies for beaches, or for recreations. Now,
Get that flagged.
it takes us back to then, the new number of, a motion of $28,660 for recreation programs and events. Do we have a second?
I'll say.
Second.
Okay. Deb Janik seconds. Any further discussion? Okay, on the phone, Sherry Aker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Deb Janik?
Yay.
Brendan McNally,
Yay.
Jennifer Rashley.
Yay.
In the room, all those in favor? That's unanimous. Our new number then is 28,660 for recreation programs and events.
I'm like dead.
Okay, should we stop here because
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
we're getting to the SRO and school department, and
Yep.
it ain't gonna be fun. We have one more thing to do, though. We have 2 minutes to approve, one for February 13th, which, those, for the people that are on the phone at home, I've sent you these in the past.
Yep.
Yep.
February 13th and February 20th. All right?
I make a motion to approve the February 13th minutes.
Okay, we have a motion to approve February regular meeting, February 13th.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on these?
No.
Was I here? Yeah, okay.
You were here. You're not listed as
You have-
absent.
you
Did I
have-
spell my name right?
You've only missed a couple.
No, I looked at them online. Looked at 'em.
Okay, all those in favor?
Yay.
Aye.
Aye.
Tom, you
Aye,
can't vote
yay.
because you weren't here.
No, you were. Oh, no, was it
Not
before you
February
came?
13th.
Oh, sorry.
13th.
Oh,
You abstain.
If you weren't here when we did them, you can't vote for them.
okay.
Okay, so,
You sure I wasn't here?
Not
so,
yet.
we have, actually, he's an abstention, Tom Hamilton, he wasn't here for that. Okay, the other minutes is for February 20th regular meeting.
I make a motion to approve the February 20th minutes.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
Oh, God, no.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Abstain, not there.
Aye.
Sherry and I weren't there.
Okay, so Sherry Aker, just for the video, Sherry Aker and Ruth Hollenbach were not present for that, so they
Tom wasn't
abstained.
with us yet either.
Who? And Tom Hamilton wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so now,
Me-
you'll notice that the minutes I posted for the 26th, and which are too late to change, are pretty much a mirror image and a carbon copy of what we just did tonight.
10 March.
You mean the agenda, right?
Huh?
You mean the agenda?
The agenda.
Yeah.
So what's left on the agenda is the school resource officer, the school department, and,
Yep, DPW.
oh, and then any things that we flagged that we want to have a little more discussion on, which may change our votes on those items.
Well, also too, the ones we moved. So we have 3 sections. We have the school resource officer in schools that haven't been touched.
Right.
We have the ones that we decided to move that we didn't vote on, and then we have the flags to go back to.
Yeah. So, okay, so I cannot add them to next week's agenda, or the month, or Thursday's agenda. But since we said at this meeting, we're gonna move them to that meeting, when we get to that point, we'll just vote them in.
Yep.
And if anybody
What was it, what was it we
disapproves
were
of that,
moving? I
too
could
bad.
not- What is it we're moving? I could not hear Jen.
So I just said it's in 3 parts. The things that we haven't touched are school resource officers in schools. Then we have to come back to the ones that we moved, which I think were fire department, or no, sorry, DPW and DPW operations. We gotta come back. We haven't, we needed more information. And the lighting, those were moved completely. And then we have to third go back. We'll see where we're at, and then we gotta hit the flags that we flagged for maybe a change.
Okay.
And you know what I'll do is I'll try to get my
Rubbish
head
was
around
in
that and send everybody an email, what they are.
Economic development.
Thank you,
All
Jay.
right. So Jay,
Yes?
were you planning on doing the resolutions next week?
Not next, well,
Thursday,
Like
Next-
not Thursday, because we're already posted, but
Have to
Next-
be Tuesday.
like
hang on.
Next
Did I-
day.
we,
Let me look at, bear with me a minute. I did not put resolutions in for next Thursday.
Thursday.
I don't know, you know what,
Okay, here's what
I
I'm gonna
haven't
do.
pulled that up yet.
I went through all the resolutions for the past 4 years. I laid them all out, and there's some that are recurring all the time. Last year, some of them changed because, I can't put it any other way, Justin Katz, he sort of tweaked them to be more legal, okay? I don't know how else to put it. So I put them down the way they were done last year. So I'll send everybody those, they can look at them. I also invite you to look at the ones from last year that are, part of our submission, with an eye towards, do we want to reinstitute them, because we have to do it every year? Do we want to change them in any way? Do we want to add? Do we want to subtract? I can tell you that the town council hasn't even done any of this yet. So when I talked to Trish Hilton, I said, well, we have to get ours in by April 2nd, no matter what you guys do. I was hoping they would send us theirs, and if we liked them, we could adopt them, so we wouldn't have what happened last year with multiple, almost said the same thing resolutions. But
Right, which
I don't know.
I tried to avoid by mentioning it last year, but it didn't work. It didn't
So
work.
anyway, that's where we are with resolutions. I don't doubt that we're gonna have to we probably should have a meeting between now and April 2nd, so that on April 2nd, all we have to do is smooth the docket out, vote for it, vote for the revenue estimates, vote for the resolutions, and hopefully we won't be here until midnight like we were last year. Joe?
Years back, when we had financial problems, I forget what was going on with the state at that time, there was a resolve that allowed the council a little more flexibility with transfers.
They transfer a lot if they can.
Well, my only point is, just to ask the council if there are any restrictions on the budget, or those resolves that were, put in place. I mean, I may sound like the sky, Chicken Little and the sky's gonna fall, but we are looking at some serious shortfalls in state aid. I mean, because they have to make up all that unemployment money, and the state's rainy day fund has been depleted years ago. We really don't have a rainy day fund anymore, so
We
it's.
don't either.
So, I mean, any hits that they take this year are gonna be felt in next year's budget as well from the state, so, capital that's restricted. It may come to a point, if we had, for instance, real issues, that they might have to transfer money from places that we don't normally transfer from.
Is that ever allowed in a state of emergency? Like, I know it's in a restricted
If they
account, but
declare
if you're in a
one.
formal state of emergency, can't they vote to unrestrict it?
I think it would, well, the council
Never
has,
really
the
had one, right?
the council has the ability to borrow a certain amount of money. It would probably be easier to do that, but.
500,000.
But,
Right.
but, I mean, taking money from the general fund and things like that are generally restricted, but in a time of an emergency,
Yeah, I guess that's kind of my question, like, if we were in a state of emergency, things were that bad, like, why would you buy a truck? Even if it was restricted
Well,
capital.
my only point is, if we did have to, we don't know how far this is gonna go. If we go as far as Spain is, we're gonna see massive police and fire overtime. So, that was my only point, that maybe we wanna untie the council's hand for this 1 year to give them the ability to transfer maybe from areas they never could, just in case.
I think
Well, we
maybe,
should
I think you,
probably, I'll bring this up with Trish Hilton. I'm sure it's right up there in the front of her head.
Yeah.
and they
And
might
we
need
should
to
get an
just-
opinion from the town solicitor on how that would work.
Because
If
honestly,
it's needed. If
because
they feel like they need it,
and honestly too, they might have to make that decision before
That's
July.
what I was gonna say, Jay, is I think the town solicitor probably needs to weigh in as to how that would work.
Be
Well-
nice to have them to one meeting.
Yeah, well, the thing is too, is they might have to make that decision before this budget's gonna go into effect in July, and what Joe's talking about, they might have to make that decision prior to July, depending on how this swings.
Jay, could you request on our last meeting, when we do the resolutions, that we have the solicitor available by phone, like last night?
Do that.
Cause that's how we got
Would-
hung up last
That
year.
probably would be helpful.
So look,
And we should probably
we
vote
have a meeting
now.
we have a scheduled meeting on the 26th, which is a Thursday. So I really think we should probably schedule one more.
Yeah, we
So
should do it now.
For Tuesday or Thursday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, because then we'll.
Tuesday.
And then the following one will be the Thursday, which has been scheduled forever. That's April 2nd. That's our witching hour.
Can we stay at the 6 o'clock?
Huh?
Can we stay at 6 o'clock? Because I think this worked well.
Other people on the phone, do you want to ask if they're going to continue to stay on the
I'm
phone
sorry, yeah.
every meeting, like on Thursday, are they going to dial in again?
On the phone, 6 o'clock still good?
6 o'clock is
Yeah.
still good for me.
Yep.
Okay.
They're gonna stay.
Yeah.
And a meeting on, let's see, March 26th is Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. The 31st?
Yeah, we're not going anywhere, Jay, so, yeah.
Where are you gonna go?
Oh, Jay, are they still gonna do the phone? Are they gonna be their phone attendees now?
We're gonna have to do it like this because the governor's got us on a no more than 10-person gig, and she's told the state police to do spot checks.
Are you guys
Well-
okay with that?
I'm still working in the hospital, so I'm still potentially exposed every day, so, yeah.
So we should count on the.
You have enough masks?
To remain on phone
Got some, Joe?
communication for going forward.
Yes.
That's fine.
That's it.
I know.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Use
hear,
a
I didn't
day,
hear
like
you.
in one day, you just use
Yes,
Yes,
Brennan,
for
Jen.
Deb.
the last 2 days.
So look, if
So
anything,
the
if
EPA
anything
helps
changes
local
with
governments.
anybody, I'm only an email away. But keep an eye
Yeah.
on your emails,
We
because
never
I
have to
may,
do it.
like what happened today with this 10 people thing, I literally found that out an hour before this meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All
Aye.
those opposed? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.